Feels kind of empty in here, doesn't it?
A little bit. I feel like there's something off. Something missing.
Yeah, something missing. I look around, I just see one less gigantic forehead.
The lack of cranium in here is
crazy.
It's crazy.
Welcome back to another episode. As you see, we have one less Mojo99 with us today. He has some scheduling issues, he's traveling, but he'll be back next week. So, in his absence, we have a guest for you guys. Somebody who you'll see right after this intro comes. We have B-Souls from Let's Keep It a Buck, from Souls and Sage, from B-Souls, Twitch streams. The one and only, here with us today.
He's everywhere.
Real fun episode for you guys. You guys are going to like it. He fills the void perfectly. It was great. And as you see by the title, we are talking once again about the biggest breakout stars in the NBA this year. Very, very fun episode.
100%. Can't wait. Listen, it got unhinged a little bit towards the end.
Did.
So
it did.
Listen, everybody's favorite part of TikTok time. We got ourselves a banger this week.
Yeah, we're recording this after we record the episode, which is unusual for us. But I don't want to spoil anything. But I will say, make sure you watch the last 25 minutes or so of TikTok time. Watch all the way through the end today. It is very worth it. But yeah, man, you guys know how it works. We're gonna go through every single NBA team. We're gonna talk about their biggest breakout star, or if they don't have a star, whatever. But somebody who's going to be a big surprise next season.
We lie. And whenever we say breakout star, you understand what we're trying to say. So
we already did this spiel an hour ago when we started, so they'll see this after the intro. We'll fully explain it. You guys know how it works. Before we get to that, though, before we take you to the conversation with B-Souls, I promised you guys something last week. Every week we do our streams. It's Tuesday now. It used to be Monday. Every week we do a stream on Tuesday, which is essentially a second episode. But last week we couldn't do our stream. Scheduling conflicts came up. I had to cancel it very last second. So I promised you guys we would do a merch giveaway. And we did that at the end of this stream this week. I told you guys to comment on a community post that I put on our channel. Mm-hmm. And you guys did. And now I'm going to pick 3 people to give merch to from that. And what I told you guys to do was comment your favorite TD3 moments and your for me to hit you up on Instagram and Twitter to give away the merch to you guys. So here are the winners. First we have @YesAndYes4522 who says, when Isaac inserted the nerd emoji while talking about Giannis's clutch block in the finals, that's his favorite moment. A real recent one.
Very, very recent. But Good job. Listen, I will say, I picked randomly where I did close my eyes. I scrolled. I said, tap the screen. And whoever.
These are all at random.
All at random.
Next one, we have @JoshuaPace5941. He says, what are we, Canadian? It's an all-time classic. As a Canadian, y'all got to bless me with some merch. You know what, Josh? We're going to give you one item, whatever you choose. Shout out the Canadians.
I'm not going to shout out the Canadians. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. Maybe next time.
I'm just not. And last but not least, we have @MomoSal908 who says, Mo falling off his chair during a stream was crazy. That was insane. He fell asleep and then fell out of his chair in the same stream.
This is a goofy guy, man. Just a goofy guy.
Yeah, man. So I'll hit you guys all up. You 3 win the merch. And, we're going to do this periodically. It's the second time we've done it this summer. We're going to periodically give you guys some of our stuff. But yeah, man. Let's get into the episode.
The cranium is crazy. Oh, my God.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice!
Want to welcome a new guest to the show, somebody that we've collabed with before, but you guys haven't seen because we went on his show, and hopefully you saw that because it was a great time. Let's keep it a buck. We got B-Souls here today, man. How you doing?
Good. Glad to be on here. Appreciate y'all for having me. How y'all doing?
Doing great, man. I've been wanting to have you on for a while, so today was a perfect time.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Nah, I've been seeing all the work that y'all been doing. Y'all been killing it. So.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. What's it called? I'm always catching myself watching your live stream clips on YouTube.
Oh,
that's like the main source of content I consume of yours.
Yeah, no, a lot of wild stuff happens on my stream. So.
Sure. Yeah, but like everyone sees from the title, like we talked about in the intro, today we're gonna do, I think, an annual thing for us at this point. It's the second year in a row we've done it. We're gonna go through every single NBA team. We're gonna pick each team's breakout, future star, whatever you want to call it. Now, obviously, we are known liars. Every time you see a title by us, it says every team, says star, all this stuff. Just know it's going to be hyperbole. It's going to be hyperbole because not all these teams have future stars. I can promise you that. Some of these teams are old and dusty on the bench. Don't expect much. So for those teams, it'll be more like a breakout role player. But we're going to do our best to give every team's best chance at a star that we don't expect to be coming.
100%. Listen, everybody already understands. Like you said it, we're known liars. So I'm ready to get into it though.
Big fan of clickbait.
Hey, get the clip farming off, man. It's a new meta.
I'm going to choose the YouTube title every single time over the truth. I don't think I'll feel bad about it.
Don't.
But yeah, man. So all of us, the three of us, have 2 divisions each, 10 teams each. We're going to take turns, go one by one, talking about our team. And I think it's only fair we let the honorary guest go first. Who is your first team you want to talk about?
I mean, if you know me, you know who it is, man. You gave me their division too, man. So I am going to be talking about the defending champions, my Boston Celtics. Okay.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
I know Isaac's a Laker fan. Don, what team are you a fan of?
I'm a Knicks fan.
Boo you too, man.
I'll see you opening night.
Nah,
see you opening night. I will see you there. All right. I'm pulling up to Boston. All right.
Oh,
it's
for
on
real?
site. It's on site.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be there.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll talk.
It might be on site.
I'm going to be there and I'm going to be looking for you. Where is Donovan, man? Crazy,
You'll see
crazy.
him. He'll stick out like a sore thumb with the Knicks gear, the big old hat. You'll see him.
Keep that same energy. I'll be waiting.
Yeah,
Is that Spike Lee? No, it's just Don.
With the Celtics this year, though, like, hey, we started off with the lies, man. Not really a breakout star for this team that I'm looking at right now because everyone's kind of peaking. This is a very win now mode team. Yeah. But if there is like a role player that I feel like will make his mark this next season, I am actually going to go Peyton Pritchard.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was a guess, right?
we are pushing agendas today. Honestly, I was not a fan of him at the beginning of last season. He really won me over the second half of the season. But in terms of being in that 6th man of the year conversation, I don't see him being the guy that puts up the crazy numbers that you need to win that award. But I do think he's the guy that people will notice more coming off the bench, being a contributor to one of the best teams in the league. I see his efficiency going up. In the conversation, maybe like 5th or 6th. Yeah.
10th on the ballot.
Yeah, you know how we talk about like the MVP conversation, like, you know.
Toss a bonus in there.
Some bonuses. Yeah, he's really in the conversation. But yeah, no, I think out of everyone that's gonna have like a career season, I guess, Peyton Pritchard's up there for me.
You know what? I'm gonna let you have it because, like you said, they have nobody else of substance to go with. This is the least interesting team to do this with. So I'm glad we knocked him out first. I'm glad you got your mini white chocolate love off. I'm with it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about Jordan Walsh, but like,
2K really. Legend.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Yeah, like I said, some of these teams like the Celtics, who they are who they are. We'll keep it brief on them and move on to other teams that are more interesting. I guess I'll go second with a team that might have an actual breakout star. I don't know. The Utah Jazz, which is a disgusting transition to go from the Celtics to the Jazz. It's nasty.
Some Danny Ainge talk. We'll see. Right? I guess.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of interesting pieces, obviously. They just drafted Collier at 26, Cody Williams. They have a lot of interesting young pieces around Lauri Markkanen. But I think for this coming year, if there's any one of those pieces that's going to make a big leap and surprise people, I think it's got to be Keontae George.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Last year, he was promising, but not particularly good. Like, he was very good for a rookie, very high in like a redraft, but in terms of actual NBA impact, highly inefficient, cone, all those things you expect from rookie guard. But I think he showed just enough flashes that if you imagine him in a better team scenario where they're not tanking the second half of the year to get the high pick like they always do in the back 2 months of the season, you put him with actual other playmakers, don't have him be this high usage guard being thrown into the fire as a rookie. I think people will be really shocked that he's could be a high level shooter when his shot selection is better because he's not forced to take a million terrible shots. He's extremely shifty. He can get to the rim. I think his passing is decent. You know, it just makes perfect sense to imagine a year 2 guard next to Lauri Markkanen and all these other wings really take a big step forward next year.
Yeah, it makes sense. Also because he's gonna have to break out like for his job because quietly, because quietly the backcourt room is getting kind of crowded in Utah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have Keontae, you have Collier, Colin Sexton. We talked about a whole bunch how him, you know, he's underrated. Like when you talk about that rotation, somebody's gonna step up and then somebody's gonna take a step back. So there's already been talk about how the Jazz haven't, fallen completely in love with Keontae being their lead guard. So again, somebody's gonna have to go win that job. Like if he gets it, shout out to him. But I'm very curious to see if he's gonna be able to like hold off the guards of the future that Utah has.
Yeah, and that's always the thing. It's never a guarantee with these young, promising guards that are drafted like late lottery for these teams. Everyone's always like, "Oh, the next big core piece," and they draft 2 more of those guys, and it's like, "Oh, I forgot. There goes Quinn Cook." Now he's not relevant. Like that always could happen, but I think he's most positioned to, if Collier becomes a starter, if Colin Sexton takes a bigger role next year, Keontae can fit next to all those guys because I think he'll be a really good shooter. I was looking at Basketball Index last year, and like I said, they tank like crazy end of the year like they always do. And they have stats that show you their shot quality and openness at different levels. He graded as an F on overall shot openness. Just by far the most contested shots on the team. One of the most terrible shot qualities in the league. So naturally,
that's a hooper right there. That's what that's telling me. That's a
real
hooper.
bag talk.
Exactly. He knows how to get a bucket on any coverage. That's what I like. I may be on the Keontae George train this year. You might have just swayed me.
Yeah, man. He was on ball 40% of his possessions. That's entirely too high. He is not James Harden. He does not need to be spamming pick and rolls like
40%? 40%? Oh my God.
40% on ball rate. That's absurd because they were playing unserious basketball. But I think he is a skilled shooter. I think all the percentages will go up when he has a better role next to him. I can see him and Collier meshing just fine.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's our Jazz talk.
That's not bad.
That's the most we talk about the Jazz all summer.
Short and sweet. That's it. All right. I'll start with my first team. We're going to start with the Atlanta Hawks just because this guy, I'll just say it. We're going to start with Jalen Johnson. I think it's
good pick.
It's really the only breakout candidate that I see. We kind of expected Jalen Johnson to break out last year. He low-key did, but he was hurt for a majority of the year. Like, I think the leap, and a lot of this is really just about people knowing who Jalen Johnson is, because had he not gotten hurt for a majority of the season, I do think that Jalen Johnson would have either been firmly in or won the most improved player of the year. So now coming into this season, you trade away DeJounte Murray. You have the number 1 pick, new school Harrison Barnes, all that type of stuff. Jalen Johnson is going to be kind of like the running mate for Trae Young for this next year and going forward. I think he has the clearest path out of, honestly, maybe like 85% of the league to take a leap and be like a star 20 point per game type scorer. Like his path is so clear right now.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Jalen Johnson? How do you feel about the Hawks? We talk a lot about the Hawks because obviously Mo's a Hawks fan and he's not here to defend their honor right now. But every time we do talk about them, Jalen Johnson is talked about like he is Paolo Banchero. So I'm curious how you feel.
I mean, I think they're a team that Trae Young is he's in the phase in his career where he really should be starting to win. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like a thing where he won a little bit too early after 2021. And ever since then, they just haven't properly built on that season. So I feel like they're in a direction of like, I think they have to go one way or the other. Let's go really young or let's go all in and trade these number 1 overall picks and really try to build the best team that we can build around Trae Young. But right now, even the Ricochet pick, I wasn't a fan of. So if there is a breakout star for them, because of how low everyone is on Zachary Ricochet, I was like, man, he may exceed these low expectations everyone got, because apparently he's just new gen Harrison Barnes. So
I didn't say that. I did not come up with that. Right. All I'm saying is that streets were talking. Streets were saying that he's new version Harrison Barnes. I was like, okay, listen, we can roll with it, and we'll see going into the season. I just don't think like they've been the definition of mid since 2021. And even then, they weren't like some crazy juggernaut. Like they got a good path in the playoffs and they handled their business. But they're not good enough to be at the top of the conference. They're not bad enough to be at the bottom. They're always going to be in that like play-in range, like that 6-7. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if there's like, they really don't have a lot of candidates for like, yeah, this person is going to be really, really great, because they have enlisted mid year after year after year. Yeah. And Jalen Johnson is the only one that has a chance to not be supremely mid.
Yeah. I think Ricochet, the narrative around him is going to flip pretty early in the season when he proves to be just a good, competent player. And we look across the country and we see Washington, D.C., and we see Alex Starr stinking it the fuck up as a rookie. Because he is going to stink it the fuck up as a rookie. I think it'll be good long term. The defense is real. Offensively, he has all the tools. Those tools are locked away in a toolbox for now. They are not available to him at this moment. He currently has a lot of room to grow offensively, and it's going to be a terrible experience as a rookie. And I think people will quickly realize, oh, okay, Ricochet is fine in comparison. Like, we don't got to pretend that he's awful, and the guy behind him was like the next coming of Tim Duncan, you know?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But I like the Jalen Johnson pick. You guys mentioned, B-Sold, you said they kind of are stuck between two paths. They kind of went towards the youth a little bit more by trading DeJounte, but they're still not fully there. They still employ Clint Capella. They still employ Bogdan, all these guys that can move. I like the Jalen Johnson pick because I feel like he fits both paths. If you want to try to be competitive and go for that coveted 6 seed that the Hawks have the ceiling of, Jalen Johnson can be your second leading scorer. If you want to tear it down and trade everybody but Trey and Ricochet, Jalen Johnson can be in that mix as like a top 3 guy you want to build around. It makes all the sense in the world that either path to go down, he's going to get more and more usage. Like you said, Donovan, the biggest benefactory of DeJounte Murray being gone, I'm with it.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, man, they're so mid. They're so mid.
But I like Jalen Johnson, though. He's not mid. I think he's definitely going to be remembered as, like, in a few years, we'll look back and be like, it's hilarious that it took so many years for them to really get him going, but he had so much opportunity that several coaches before Quinn Snyder just had him glued to the bench.
2-point guards. Gotta love it.
Fucking
yeah, I think their all-time record is legitimately like 500, like on the
so crazy.
So I always make fun of the Atlanta Hawks as just being a NBA team. Like when you think of a NBA team, the Atlanta Hawks are not too bad. Not like they are an NBA team. So
one of the NBA teams of all time.
Yes, the NBA team of all time. Really,
that's so true. That's a bar. I'm mad Mo's not here to hear it. Oh man, what's your second
We're
team?
stealing that. We're running that back.
Facts. I'm going to say it. I'm going to pretend it was mine too.
All right, man. My next team is the Brooklyn Nets. And
that's a good one.
For me, he may be a bad answer because he really did have a breakout season last season, but I do think there is still some more room for improvement there. And outside of him, I don't see like Nick Claxton making this big leap. So I'm going to double back and say it's Cam Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, I think obviously he's a bucket. He already is a bucket. But in terms of his defense,
that's what the game is
playmaking,
about. Thank you for saying that. Yo, I have tried to tell Isaac for the last month that the game is about a bucket, and you have to be able to do that. And that's why Cam Thomas is so valuable. I appreciate you so much for bringing that up.
Yeah, man, it's one of the aspects of the game.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. But yeah, there are some things he can work on, specifically his passing, that I feel like he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot this season, more than last season. So hopefully with the more opportunities he's getting this season within the offense, he can actually build on his game last season. But yeah, I think Cam Thomas, he can make a leap from because I think he averaged 22 last season, 25, 26. And
that's
I feel
crazy.
Like there is
a 22.
Yeah, I feel like there is a difference between how someone is perceived when they're averaging like low 20s to mid 20s in the league.
Yeah.
So.
He's an interesting player. You know, we have it's no secret we have a young fan base. And because of that, some of them are very young. And some of them, when we have videos about promising players, they would be like, what about Cam Thomas? When we're talking about like Paolo Banchero and shit. And I'm always like, bro, shut up. It's just Cam Thomas. So I often find myself dismissing him for just being a chucker that can't pass, can't defend, all this stuff. You know, the typical stuff that he has the narrative attached to him for a good, decent reason. I do think there's a world though where you're right that it's a different type of game when you have the ability to just be that guy that takes shots because it doesn't matter versus when you're the best player on the team. And even though the team's not really trying to win, you're going to go out there every night and you got to be respectable or else it's embarrassing. It might be an environment that kind of forces him to develop a little bit. So there is a world, I think, where he has a scoring boost and starts to try to pass more because he has to. Otherwise, they're going to get blitzed by 30 points and they're going to be looking at him crazy because he's taking all these shots while they get destroyed. Yeah. That's kind of an environment that makes you want to get better at passing so you don't embarrass yourself. I'm not fully out on him, so I like the pick.
Yeah.
About Keontae George having that on-ball percentage of 40%, I'm very curious to see what Cam Thomas
he's smashing it
at the end of this year. Because, on one hand, you're right. There can be a situation where you're getting double-teamed all the time, because you are like the scorer on the team. You're like, yeah, like I should probably pass. There's another type of person that sees that and is like, challenge, and I will overcome this. And I feel like Cam Thomas has shown throughout his career, he looks at it as a challenge, and he's like, you're gonna put 3 people on me? Please, that's not a good idea.
Watch this.
So, exactly. So I'm not too sure about the passing, but the 25-26 points a game, that is a lot. But I do see a world where that happens. So just because like the Nets, listen, shout out to them. They got into their rebuild mode. They're about to be playing some fake basketball this year. So Cam Thomas, you got it.
Yeah, I still think they're gonna be atrocious. But if I just had to pick a name, I was looking at the roster. I just don't know who else I'd pick. Yeah. So yeah,
I do. Yeah, I like that pick because, like you said, he's gonna get all the usage in the world. I do kind of think Nick Claxton might continue to prove himself as a really. I'm trying to find the right verbiage here because they're gonna be irrelevant. They're gonna be shit. So I don't know if he has actually good attention from the mainstream media. But I do think he'll be one of the more promising defensive bigs. He already kind of is, but I can see him, in the same way Cam Thompson has to take more shots. Maybe Nick Claxton has to take more shots. And I don't really know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like.
The Nets are about to be so bad, man. Oh, my God. Now that we're really, talking about them, oh, my God, the Nets are about to be so bad, bro.
Nick Claxton between the legs.
I guess our offense revolves around a guard that can't pass. Oh, my God.
and a big that can't shoot.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, man, shout out Cam Johnson. He's in between it all, chucking those corner threes.
Stop. Stop. That's nice.
But we can move on. They are going to be horrible. Listen, Cam Thomas is on my fantasy team, and he'll be remaining there. I'll say that. He's going to get those buckets. Yeah, I'm going to use him as a keeper.
This is news to me. Strategy starts now. Okay.
Okay, so we did a irrelevant team. Let's go back to a good team. The Oklahoma City Thunder. This pick will be of no surprise to anybody who's ever heard the show. Donovan, you can fully... Actually, I don't know, because I like both their young guys. But my pick for the breakout star for this year is obviously Jalen Williams. I almost feel like it's cheating, because I feel like last year he kind of broke out. But I think he'll be an all-star this year.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it'll happen.
I thought you were going to say 2 names, but... Yeah,
you think J-Dub?
You had 2 options, but the other one's Chet for me.
For sure,
Chet was crazy.
You could go either way. I think
that's
they're both
cheating to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both so good. It feels cheating either way. Mm-hmm. But I went J-Dub because I think I could actually see him being on the All-Star team because I think they're going to be the 1 seed again. They're going to get all the hype in the world because obviously they have Caruso, they have Hardenstein. They're going to have all the attention as being probably the favorites out west. And the only thing holding J-Dub back last year from being an All-Star level player with that type of production, he just didn't get enough shots. It was literally just that. He was outrageously efficient in every single way. He shot 45% on pull-up threes and 44% on catch-and-shoot threes, 68% at the rim. I think he's just as good of a passer as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Obviously, Shai's not the best passer in the world. It's not a high bar. But, I think offensively as a full package, there's no more Josh Giddey-sized hole on the roster. Those shots can be redistributed. Probably Alex Caruso starting there, who's not going to be a guy dribbling and taking up usage the way Giddey was. I just think we're primed to see more from J-Dub. He's probably going to be empowered to be more of a second star. We saw the need for that in the playoffs when he was shut down and it was really Shai versus the world and that didn't go well. They're going to need him to be a consistent second star in the playoffs, so they're probably going to empower him in the regular season to keep developing that way. And it just feels like the time that last year everyone was like, oh, he's a star in the making. This year he's legitimately going to be an all-star.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I think if you're looking at the Thunder, one, they're already so young, but I think that the name that a lot of people might think of as the breakout guy for this year may be the Kaysen Wallace. But
sure,
for the same, I think for Kaysen, for the same reason that I was talking about with the Jazz, it got really, really crowded in Oklahoma City very quickly, right? And obviously they have a whole bunch of depth now and they are the favorites, but now where do you have that room for the young player to step up? Not really sure. So now you have to have a baseline level of opportunity for somebody to come in and get those shots. I'm with you on J-Dub. I think for him, it's not even about more shots. I just want to see him in the playoffs. I just want to see it kind of fast forward, to April, because that's the one thing. The drop off that he had from regular season J-Dub to playoffs is one of the reasons that they didn't make the conference finals. And even still, they were fighting like tooth and nail with the Mavericks. Like they still could have been in the conference finals with him playing that bad. If he steps it up 50-75% from where he was in the playoffs and is kind of, you know, the same version that we saw throughout the season, yeah, it wouldn't be shocking for him to be on an All-Star team. Who would you be kicking off then in the West?
Did Paul George make it last time? He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, Paul George is gone. Let's say we'll give him his spot. I don't even know. Was he even an All-Star last year?
Paul George, I believe so.
I don't remember.
He's out of there. Rudy Gobert. Listen, Rudy Gobert has the worst PR in the world right now. They're not going to pick him again. He's not going to make it, so we'll throw him out too.
Josh coming back though.
True. Yeah, listen, I don't know. When I say someone's an all-star, who's to fucking say? Who's to say who's going to be healthy? But I think he'll be in that conversation. He'll be that level of player. He might be an all-star replacement. I don't know. But there's like 30 all-star level guys in each conference. But
that makes sense.
Back to the playoff thing you talked about. I agree. We need to see it in the playoffs. It's also not that surprising or not that concerning to me because, you know, everybody says whenever a young team is up and coming, oh, haven't seen them in the playoffs, they're young and unproven, they got to go through the fire. A lot of times I think that's overemphasized too much. That shit was true as hell for them. That was the first time he saw playoff defense. He saw an elite defense of the Mavs keen to take away his strengths, and it showed. And I think a young guy like him needs to go through that, and he'll probably be better for it. They attacked his handle. They made him really get tough buckets where normally I think he relies a little bit too much on his athleticism and tough shot making. He's going to have to improve off of that and, you know, get some more go-to moves to create reliable shots against hard defenses. So that honestly makes me feel better about it because now he knows what he needs to improve on.
Facts.
Would you say J-Dub is more on the underrated or overrated side right now? Because I've had conversation about him recently, and just depending on who you talk to, they're either gassing him up like too much, arguably, or like they just don't know how good he is.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're talking to the wrong guy. You're probably talking to somebody who gasses him up too much. So I'm not the one to ask. I would say whenever you say that and you say a lot of people underrate him, a lot of people overrate him, to me that just screams properly rated probably, that there's a healthy balance. I know you're probably referencing, like I know Jackson Frank was getting flamed on Twitter last year for saying he's a top 20 player already. I've never said anything as crazy as that. He definitely wasn't that level last year. But I think I got the most heat because I said he should be viewed in the same caliber of prospect long term as Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero. I think he can also be a top 15 player in the league when he hits his prime. If things go well, I think he can be like a Jaylen Brown level player. What is that? Is that overrating him to you?
I don't think that's crazy, to be honest with you.
Let's go.
I don't think that's crazy. So.
It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that.
All right, what's your next team, Donovan?
All right, we're gonna go to the Orlando Magic. This is kind of like a rebirth for this guy. Give me Jonathan Isaac. I just think like Jonathan.
Are you
Isaac.
saying Jonathan Isaac will be born again?
Listen. Good job. Yeah. I like that.
He got it. Yeah. He got it off.
No, he 100% will be. The only thing stopping Jonathan Isaac from being like first team all defense, DPOY level guy, he just doesn't play enough. And it's obviously because he's had a million just devastating injuries year after year after year. He was healthy last year. He's going to be even, hopefully healthier and more into his, basketball legs and all that other stuff. If Jonathan Isaac gets consistent minutes and he goes from like 20 minutes a game to 27, right, pushing 30, we're going to be looking at him as one of the hands down best defenders in the NBA. And with the Magic taking a step forward or an expected step forward, right, from last year, and they're no longer this like fun young team. They kind of have a couple of expectations, especially now that KCP's there. I think you're going to start getting some more visibility on Isaac. You're going to get some more minutes. The defense is going to be crazy. And we're going to look at Jonathan Isaac at the end of the year and be like, no, he's one of like the lockdown guys in the league, and it's going to be proven over this next year.
100%. Will he stay healthy? I don't know. Can he ever play 30 minutes per game? I don't know. If he does, I agree.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Like I think whether we've talked about like underrated, because we've talked about Isaac before, and all I want to see from him is just basketball. Nothing else, right? No, I don't want to see anything else. Keep it hoops, and we will be good. because you, sir, are a defensive demon, and that's
Facts.
Again, that's all I want.
I don't need any more BR kicks post, any more anything. Just basketball.
Nope. I don't know. I
Doesn't
don't
he
want to
have
know
his
what
own
you have
shoe
for
line?
breakfast. I don't want to know what you're reading. I don't need to know any of that. Please.
Not even hoop, just play defense. Apparently,
Exactly.
Not even-
Don't take
get
any
a
shots.
bucket. Clamp up.
That's a good pick, though. Yeah, I agree. I don't know who else they have on that team. I mean, Anthony Black, I guess, could have an up and coming year, but most are guys. I mean, Franz Wagner. If you think his 3-point shot comes around, that's always a candidate. Like, I think everyone's kind of just waiting for him to make the All-Star leap too. Everyone thought it'd be last year, but then he forgot how to shoot the
nervous
ball.
now.
So wait and see.
I'm nervous about his shot. That's why I didn't pick him.
Okay. Who is your next team, B-Souls?
All right, next up, I have the Toronto Raptors, and I'm going to go Emmanuel Quickly for the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
I actually am pretty high on Quickly on the Raptors, and this is going to sound
quick.
crazy. Hear me out. I think there's a couple guys in the league that, like, the previous situation they were on, it just wasn't optimized for them to go off. Kind of similar to James Harden back in the day, Jalen Brunson. Now, I'm not saying that's what IQ is going to be, but in terms of his situation, I think Toronto is a situation where he's going to get adequate enough touches for him to take that next leap as a player. So I'm expecting a decent amount of good things from Emmanuel Quickly this upcoming season.
I agree. I think this is the best pick so far that, like, in the essence of what a breakout star is for a team, Emmanuel Quickly is the best definition of that we've seen so far, I think. I know I don't have a pull up right now, but when he went to Toronto last year, he wasn't quite as efficient because obviously his job was harder and he was getting used to being that lead guard for a team he never was before. But he was averaging like 18 points and 6.5 assists. Like, if he can do that for a full year and get closer to that New York efficiency as he's more used to being a top guy with Scotty Barnes, who had the same issue post Siakam, they both kind of became chuckers because they were in hell trying to be the top two guys. You can only assume they'll get better at that. So he's the exact type of guy you can look up and see in a most improved conversation.
I miss Quickly. I miss him. I miss him because he is.
He got quiet for a second. He saw me.
I did.
Damn, he's not a Knick anymore. Fuck.
You miss Barrett though?
Listen, I miss Emmanuel Quickly, man. Like it's really tough. It's really tough seeing a player you like a lot go to another team. I'm happy for RJ, but again, I miss Emmanuel Quickly. I agree though. I think like having your role switch like so drastically in the middle of the season is kind of crazy. And so being able to have like a full off season with RJ, with Scotty, get your body right to take kind of like the physical toll of being a league guard. I fully agree with you. I think he's going to have a really good year.
Yeah.
I kind of hope RJ Barrett keeps playing like he did last year because
he was hooping.
Listen, I was not shy to say RJ Barrett was not good when he was on the Knicks. And he was pretty good with the Raptors. We did our small forward rankings. I think I ranked him like 20. Like that's a large improvement from what he looked like on the Knicks. So I'm almost more excited to see what that looks like in year 2 than I am Quickly. Like if he can be good, because I know Quickly and Barnes will be their guys and be their like lead ball handlers for their 8 seed. If Barnes can be pretty good too, I mean Barrett, then we're getting into something. I just called him Harrison Barnes.
That's how he really feels, man. The real next gen Harrison Barnes, RJ Barrett.
Hey, shout out RJ Barrett, man. All right, let me see what my next team is. We'll run through another quick one that isn't very interesting. I had the Suns on my roster. I looked up and down their roster, and I've decided I will not be talking about the Phoenix Suns today. Donovan, who's your next team?
Wow.
My next team, let's go to the Milwaukee Bucks because they're also like kind of listen. This is an old ass team. They have very little youth on their team. I think for them, honestly, like Gary Trent Jr. might be the best case for a breakout, just because if he pops and if Gary Trent Jr. is the player that they need him to be, obviously like they didn't have a lot of flexibility to go out and make a lot of moves. They had to rebuild their bench through minimums, do stuff around the margins. If Gary Trent Jr. is solid for them and gives them what they need, he's going to be on that short list for like best role players in the game. He's just gonna get that boost because the Bucks have all the expectations on them because they still have Giannis and Dame, and they were a mess last year and still ended up very, very high in the conference. If it starts to look the right way and Gary Trent is out there knocking down threes whenever Giannis is running halfback dive, like that's going to be a very, very valuable skill. And he has an opportunity to be a well-known role player. And that's really all they have. I don't know if there's a real, I don't know if there's a good like breakout candidate on their team because
Beauchamp, I guess.
Maybe, but
is Doc Rivers going to play him? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
I think Gary Trent is walking into a situation where his services are needed and he's going to get the opportunity to prove that as well. So he kind of has the best mixture of, foundation to be quote unquote a breakout.
Remember early in his career on the Trailblazers, whenever the Raptors traded for him, it was like applauded. And it was like, oh, they got this interesting young player, Gary Trent. Like he was viewed as like a solid prospect. That's like interesting. Mm-hmm. And then year by year with the Raptors, it just kind of dwindled into now he's one of the role players in the NBA, as we keep referencing.
Role player.
Yeah, he's a guy now. It's interesting how that happens with guys around his age where they're like, they're promising at 22, then at 25, just yawn. You get him for the minimum now. It's crazy. But I'm with you. I think
they got him for a minimum, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Like he's talented. Like there's a world I think where he's in a better team environment. A team, like you said, needs his skills. He can be their honestly go-to stopper defensively, which is horrifying if you're a Bucks fan. But listen, if he locks in and he can stand up to it and be the guy chasing people around screens, hitting enough threes, letting Dame be more comfortable, that could be a big narrative shift for him.
I'm really interested to see the Bucks this season, man, because I think things will either be, this should be like what year one was supposed to be. This should be what year one was supposed to be for them, or it's just, or
it gets scary.
Really weren't supposed to be that good. Okay. Man.
Yeah, and honestly, really nailing picks like Gary Trent and like DeLon Wright, that shit'll help. But it really just comes down to Dame. Like that's if it's gonna look like what we thought, like you said, it's gonna be because Dame looks like 2022 Dame. Yeah. If he looks old and continues to look out of shape, then it's gonna be rough, and then we might look at Giannis in New Jersey in a couple of years.
Miami.
Ooh, him and Bam Adebayo. Yuck. Spacing
with Jimmy. Jimmy's still there.
Well, yuck. That's the most elbows thrown per team ever.
He won't be there. Bam and Giannis. It's crazy.
That would be the stinkiest, most talented trio I've ever seen. I would hate to watch that, but it'd be effective.
It might be straight clamps.
It probably would be.
It might be all it is.
Yeah. The Jollof power from that duo? Oh my goodness. It would be crazy.
None of our audience is gonna know what that means.
It's okay. That was for me. And that was for Nikhil. I only said that joke for 2 people.
Listen, Mo's gonna listen back to this and he's gonna approve.
Oh, facts. 3 people. Hold it down.
All right, Bezos, what's your next team?
All right, man. My next team is a rival of my team, the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay.
Boo.
As far as breakout star, Jared McCain, I was thinking about it, but their guard rotation may just be too deep for him to get like proper playing time. And he just may not count because he's a rookie. So I'm gonna go the role player route. I think Caleb Martin is gonna be a sleeper pick for them, like a sleeper pickup for them this year. I was looking at their depth chart, and man, that bench is not as good as I thought it was. I don't even know what I thought it was, but I feel like this is a team that is going to need scorers off the bench. And again, as a guy who's seen him a lot of times in the playoffs, Caleb Martin has torched my team a lot. So
I think he stole a ring from you by himself.
Yes. Arguably Eastern Conference Finals MVP, man. Crazy. But yeah, I think on this team, there's a little bit more space for him to work off the bench compared to Miami because we were just clowning their spacing. So Caleb Martin with spacing might go crazy. I don't know.
That's a disgusting thing.
I know.
Don't let Caleb Martin. Don't let Caleb Martin get the proper situation. Like, okay.
Don't let him heat up.
I'm just seeing him before, man. I know what he can be, man. This just
don't let him see one go in the bucket.
Oh yeah.
But no, that's a good pick. obviously they have a big three now. That's going to be, even if Paul George takes a step back, I think that'll be reliably a very effective top three team. Like that'll be one of the top three big threes in the league, no matter what, I think. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that lead to absolutely nothing for a lot of teams as of late because the rest of the roster has absolutely nothing going for it. And if they want to duck the Phoenix Suns allegations, they're going to need guys like Caleb Martin to come out and be really impactful. Kelly Oubre come out, continue to do his thing and be impactful. So if Caleb Martin's probably the one that if it works, it'll be because of him.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's not Tobias Harris.
I hope so.
It's over. It's over for Tobias. I'm
over?
very happy. I'm very happy. I mean, it's been over, but I'm just happy for him because like he's still getting money. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it in that sense.
Get him back, Tobias.
Exactly.
Where is he now? Am I tripping?
The Pistons.
He's in Detroit.
Ooh,
they gave him
back.
a
He's
bag.
back.
They gave him a lot of money, upwards of $30 million a year.
For Tobias.
His agent is one of the three best that I've ever seen. It's like his agent, Harrison Barnes's, and then Gordon Hayward's.
Oh,
Don't forget about Chandler Parsons.
Ooh, good pick. Honorable mention.
All right, my next team. Let's get one of the fan favorites out of here. The Golden State Warriors. I think this one obviously comes down to two guys probably. Are you team Brandon Podziemski or Jonathan Kuminga? And I think it's a safer bet that Paz is the better player, especially next year. But I think if we're talking ceiling and breakout star and a team player that's capable of, if everything goes right, they can really hit a level that changes the outlook of your team, I think we have to go Kuminga.
Yeah, for sure. Because like you said, Pods is obviously going to be helpful. Steph is going to do what he does. It feels weird saying this. They're only going to go as far as Kuminga allows them to go.
Oh God, they're fucked.
You know, like
Wrap it up.
That's Steph is going to show up every single night. He's going to score 27, 28 points a night, right? Ridiculous efficiency, all that stuff. Are they ever going to get somebody who can fill that Andrew Wiggins role, who can also come in, score 17 to 20?
Still there.
Filling the when
he's
right
gone.
there is crazy.
He's gone. He is not the same player. It's never coming back. He had a Linsanity. The whole team in 2022 had a Linsanity run. Otto Porter, who's never healthy, was the healthiest in his
Kevon Looney
life.
too, bruh.
Wait, not too much. I don't disrespect Kevon.
My bad.
Don't disrespect Kevon. But everybody else on that team, Jordan Poole, all of them had career years in 2022. Nobody else has been able to reach that ceiling. Can Kuminga get them back to it and give Steph 0.75% or I guess 75% of a running mate?
0.75%? Can you give me nothing?
Maybe. That's your only hope.
I think Pods is guaranteed to be a really good player. I think he could be like a Dante DiVincenzo type, just like an extremely helpful shooter, defender, role player. Kuminga has some star upside. I'm personally not the biggest believer that he'll reach that upside, but it's there because he's legitimately like an elite rim finisher. He shot 74% at the rim this year, which is incredible. Like it's legit extremely good. He just has to do everything else well. He has to be a consistent shooter, which he hasn't done to date. It's been very up and down. And defensively, we talk about DeAndre Ayton as being a guy who just kind of stands there, is a very apathetic, non-active defender. He's kind of the 6'9" DeAndre Ayton defensively. He kind of just stands there, doesn't get involved in passing lanes. Doesn't get involved in passing lanes, doesn't provide a ton of weak side help at the rim. Just not a very impactful defender in any way. And either that, the shooting, or the passing, ideally two of those things, at least one of those things, have to become above average. And if that happens, I think there's a legit path to him being an extremely helpful player. But man, I'm not getting my hopes up for anything involved in the Golden State Warriors this year.
They gotta trade the young guys, man. I'm sorry, because I think they are one of the teams in the league that has to pick a direction. But I think they've chosen their direction of just we're gonna ride out Steph Curry's career and Draymond's career as long as they want to stay here. But if that's the path y'all are choosing, I just don't see the reason for Kuminga and B-Pods and even like Moses Moody to be on there. Like, let's get some win now guys in here, man.
I know it is. I think they're fucked either way. I don't even know what win now guys can save it. No amount of riding Curry is gonna make them like super relevant anymore. Like I think they're screwed either way.
But my thing is just put your best foot forward if you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Try to win another one with Steph. Like Kuminga is not cutting it respectfully.
And you know who agreed and tried to scam them? Danny Ainge. He tried, but it didn't work. But he saw the writing on the wall just like you do, and he tried to get everything he could for Larry Markkinen, but thankfully they're not too dumb about it.
Yeah.
All right, man, they're hopeless. Let's fly through some of the teams that aren't that relevant. Start doing two at a time. If you guys have like one good one, one bad one.
All right, I'll go here. So with the Cavs, not really in my opinion, not really like a breakout guy. I would say Isaac Okoro. I just want to see him. I want to see him maintain the shooting success that he had last year, and I just want to know if it was real because he jumped from being a 36% 3-point shooter to being a 39% 3-point shooter. If we can get a little bit more volume, right, around the same efficiency, now we're cooking. Right, and you can actually be here as opposed to being actively detrimental to the offense the way that he was like 2 years ago. That's all I want to see from Isaac Okoro. Again, I think that their roster is also very like when now you want to see Darius Garland come back up, but that's more about injury rather than breaking out. So
yeah, I was gonna say this doesn't make sense, but hear me out. I think the answer is Darius Garland. That's their breakout start for this year.
Yeah, that's
again.
Again. Part two.
It's more positive regression because I still do think that Darius Garland is a good basketball player. Like it's not my fault that he got knocked around in the face the way that he did last year. So yeah, it's a core for me as my next team, and then we'll go two at a time. Another one from this division. This is a free space. You know how on bingo you got the middle one where you could pick anything? The Detroit Pistons. Can anybody break out? Can anybody show me something that you guys
throw
are
a stone,
moving?
find a breakout
Please.
star.
Cade, can you show me something? I know it's not your fault. I need to see something. Asar, can you shoot anything? Can Ron Holland shoot? That's gonna be big. What is Jaden Ivey gonna do? Is Jalen Duren gonna figure stuff out? Like, there's so many questions on the Pistons where I just don't know how to properly evaluate their situation. And if we can get one person on this roster who can give me some hope for the next 3 years, I will take it. But I don't have a like legitimate candidate that I can point to and say they will do this next year.
Man, fuck that. This has to be the year where Cade Cunningham makes a star leap. If Cade Cunningham is not near all-star level this year, if he's not averaging 24 points and 8 assists, we got to stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like,
was he not near all-star last year? I think he was fine last year.
I guess. I mean, they were at a 25-game losing streak with him playing every game. Sure.
Production was there, though, man. Not too much on Big K.
Sorta.
Big K?
Big K.
Oh, my God.
Now, if I say I'm still higher on Cade than Paolo.
Big Cade is crazy. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, you won't get yelled at. I'll say that. But I'm with you. I'm very high on Cade. I'm holding out hope. The situation is ridiculous. And I believe there's something in there of an elite player. But there's only so many years you can believe that and put it on the success. Put it on the team as a reason it's not. I talk about that a lot with Paolo, that I say people give him too much of a pass for no spacing when we have to acknowledge he has some flaws in his game, that he's legit just not that good of a rim finisher, and it's not everything to do with the spacing. At a certain point, the same thing will have to be said with Cade Cunningham. Again, the worst situation in the league by far, but eventually you have to find a way to become above it. Otherwise, you might just not be an elite player.
I feel it. All right, I'm next, right?
Yep.
All right. So for my two teams, just a real quick one. Want to shout out the New York Knicks. I don't see any of them having like a breakout season because similar to the other teams, just they're in win now mode. I would like to see how OG and Mikal play with Jalen Brunson for a full season. Maybe one of them can break out. So I'm going to go the role player route here. Depending on the starting lineup that they roll out, I really do think they're going to need a bucket off the bench. And Miles McBride can be that guy.
Let's go.
For the New York Knicks. So I'm going to go Miles McBride for the Knicks. As far as another team that I want to mention, kind of similar to the Pistons, I'm going to go with the Houston Rockets. And again, maybe it's a bad pick because he's a rookie, but I just need one of their young guys to break out similar to the Pistons. Because I think Sengun separated himself from the crowd last season. Yeah. But this season, one of Jabari, one of Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, one of them needs to break out. And my pick may be the rookie. It may be Reed Shepherd, man. I don't know, man. I really like what I saw from Reed Shepherd in the
That's
summer.
a good pick.
I'm with you. Right when the draft was on, we did a live stream for the draft, and I said that if there's anybody in this class that I think is going to be sneakily an all-star and surprise people, it's going to be Reed Shepherd. Like, I think he's the guy that has that kind of ceiling that people don't necessarily expect to come into the league because he looks like an accountant and doesn't strike you as insane athlete that can dominate the league. Mm-hmm. But he's a pretty good athlete, an amazing shooter, a very good passer, and all those things are precisely what they need because all the other players you mentioned are long athletes with questionable jumpers, questionable handles, questionable passing. Everything that he does well, the other players need. So even if one of those other guys makes a leap, whether it be Amen, whether it finally is Jalen Green, maybe Cam Whitmore surprises us, every single outcome that's not him, Reed Shepherd can still thrive in alongside them. Whereas some of the other guys kind of step on each other's toes a little bit.
Yeah, I think at this point, if I were to pick two, because like you said, like it's getting kind of crowded in Houston. If I were to pick two, it would be either Reed Shepherd or it would be Amen Thompson as one of the two guys that's going to break out. I'm fully on Amen Thompson Island, fan club, whatever it is. Like I think that would have been my pick, but I don't hate the Reed pick at all, especially because they do need shooting for real. So yes, he will be lighting it up.
It could easily be Jalen Green too. I ain't gonna lie.
After he's okay cutting up time. It has to be Jalen Green or he's cooked. It has to be
it really does. I think this is last year where I'm like, because it's not even like Cade where he's in the worst situation in the league. Mm. He is not in the worst situation in the league. And I did see a lot from Jalen Green in the latter half of last season. I think it was January. He was putting up like Kobe numbers, and they went on like that crazy winning streak. If he can be that for next season, then again, he's easily the answer. But I'm gonna just wait and see.
No, yeah, listen, April Jalen Green is the answer. As in, he is Allen Iverson. He is amazing every April. And if he could be that, he will be a perennial all-star. But I would like to see it for the other 11 months of the year.
It's so fake. It's so fake. He's just not going to break out. I'm so sorry. I'm planting my flag. I've done it before. I would do it again. I don't believe in it. I think that if somebody shows you who they are, you're going to have to believe them. And he clearly is a guy who is unserious for a majority of the season. And then he'll turn it on. He will turn it on in February for 8 games and then in March for 10 and in April for the last 2 weeks. But I don't think we're going to get a full season of Jalen Green being elite scorer from October to April. I just don't see that happening.
And I don't necessarily see elite scorer. I think there's a world where he's a decent player and he has a role in the NBA. But I just think that the ceilings of Reed and Amen are so much better and so much more complementary to Sengun that I'm hoping that the front office agrees and goes that route and gives them the opportunity, because I feel like Jalen Green has such a large leash with just the cachet he's had, being the first guy of that core there, that like they really want him to be that guy. I feel like every time we look up in the news and we see a report from inside the organization, I don't know that they have the most confidence in Sengun or they don't want him to be the face. He's kind of just like thrust himself into that role. I think they very much want Jalen Green to be Kobe.
Yeah.
100%.
And I want a lot of things. Doesn't make it true.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
There's a lot of shit I want. Doesn't make it possible at all.
I wish he does, man. He's half Filipino, man. I'm rooting for Jalen Green. So.
Oh, he is?
You got a jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out.
Shout out.
Right, cool.
There you go.
Shout out.
Salute. All right, my next team. I'll do both Los Angeles teams at once. The Lakers and the Clippers. The Lakers, obviously, if you guys have heard the show at all since the draft, you know for a fact I'm going Dalton Connect. I think Dalton Connect is exactly what this Lakers team needs. And it's more so they have really no other options besides, I guess, Cam Christie, who should be in a better role this year, but he's just Cam Christie. I think this team, since the LeBron era, has almost never had a legitimately like threatening spacer. They've had some good spot-up shooters. They have had Danny Green, KCP, and some other people along the lines that are good shooters, but they've never had like a legit elite shooter, and they've just never prioritized that as something they chase. And Dalton Connect might not be that, but he also might be. He might not be Klay Thompson, but he also might be. Yeah, he might be fantastic. And if everything goes well, and he's an older rookie, he should be able to contribute right away. If he can be a 40% three-point shooter that can move off ball, not just be a spot-up guy, legitimately run off screens, use some of the athleticism he has to get to the rim and create attacking closeouts, I think he could add a dimension to that team we haven't seen since 2020. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we look up and he's starting by the end of the year.
listen, we're at the part of the season where games haven't started yet. So I can't tell you that you're wrong, right? I can't tell you that Dalton Connect can't be that. But all the stuff that we talked about, like with his skill set, and then also being coached by JJ Redick.
Yep.
And him having the other, white boy shooter that can draw up exactly the play that Connect needs, can tell him exactly how to play his position and his role. Like it's going to be very, very helpful for him. So I do think that the Lakers, that's one of like the top 2 or 3 steals of draft night was the Lakers getting Connect, and it might be one.
So you're telling me the first pick the Lakers make in the JJ Redick era is just finding a JJ Redick for the team?
Yep, it's no coincidence.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
You know what? He's going to drop plenty of plays because he's going to look at Dalton Connect and be like, damn, what if I could jump 38 inches in the air? That's who this guy is. Like, I wish I was him. And he's going to try to make him be the guy, and it's going to work.
He's playing dreaming about Dalton Connect.
Like, why couldn't I dunk like that? Fuck. That would have averaged 22. But yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no other good options.
That's fair.
Other Los Angeles team, the Clippers.
Boo.
Again, a team with not great options, but I do like this pick because it's, again, I'm cheating. I'm not sticking to the spirit of the award we're giving out. But I think it's James Harden.
I was thinking he was going to say that, man. West Darius Garland pick. I like it.
Yeah, listen. Listen. He is viewed right now as being washed as fuck. Last year, he was tertiary as hell. He was passive. He was passing the ball, keeping it moving. He knew his role on this team, and he played it. It was not to be a scorer by any means. And I think that has led everybody to believe that he cannot be a scorer by any means, that he is just completely out of the possibility of ever averaging 22 points per game, ever being a guy that can lead an offense again in any meaningful way. And I don't really think it's the case. I think he's still capable of scaling up a little bit when needed. I think we'll see a redemption of sorts of his perception around the league, I think, this year when he's asked to do more next to Kawhi. Because even when he was on Philly, he was doing a little bit better than he did last year. He was very on ball, but they were still playing through Joel Embiid. And they had a very effective pick and roll, but it wasn't like very conducive to James Harden eating as a scorer. And I think that's exactly what they'll need for this team. They're gonna need him to, because Kawhi's gonna miss a bunch of games, and it's gonna be him, Norman Powell, and Derek Jones Jr. out there taking turns. And only one of those guys brings any sort of excitement.
You got to be Souls. You got it.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm gonna agree. I agree.
No.
I agree, man. Listen,
Hit that soundboard.
I think a lot of people, after they lost Paul George, were very low on the Clippers. They just lost Paul George. This is the year they fall off. But that's not how basketball works, man. Sometimes less is more. And giving James Harden, one of the best on-ball creators, the Rock, even in big 2024, that's going to be fun. I think they're going to be a sleeper team. Now, are they going to win a championship? Hell no. But, I actually agree with that, man. We might see, I don't know about 2018, 2019 Harden.
Oh, fuck no.
But 2021 Harden was tough too. Maybe first year Philly Harden. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe,
exactly.
Yeah.
He can average 22.5, 23 points per game, close to leading the league in assists, leading a top 8 offense in the league. Like, that's a solid low-level all-star player. And he was that even a couple years ago. Last year was the first year he really did below that. Yeah. And if he is cooked and it becomes not true, it's because he just can't get to the rim at all. Last year, his rim frequency dropped to 19% of his shots, down from 25 the year before that, 34 the year before that. That's typically the sign of aging. You can't get to the rim at all. You can't blow by your guy. But again, I think a big part of that is just the role he played. He was spotting up a lot more. He was keeping the ball moving a lot more. Wasn't necessarily trying to ISO as much as he used to. I think there's a balance there where, yes, he probably isn't athletically what he once was. Not even probably. He's clearly not. And he's not going to be nearly as reliable, self-creating. But he can do more than he did last year. I can guarantee that. Whatever that balance is, he can take a step forward.
I am on board with you, Isaac. I am on board.
I love it. I'm glad you are, because Donovan would have just shamed me to death.
I'm still, listen, I'm not a big Clippers fan generally, and then even coming into this year, I still don't think that they're going to be amazing. I'm workshopping how I feel about them, so I'm not going to say exactly what I think, and I'll let y'all know closer to the season, but I think both of you guys are way off.
TBD. TBD hate is crazy.
I'm fighting through my biases right now. I'm trying to make sure, like, do I think they actually suck or do I just hate them? Like, I'm going in between those two things.
You have never seen a bias in your life that you've cared to fight that much. You've embraced them with all your heart.
That's not true.
Give them big ol' hugs. All right, who are your next teams?
I think I'm right a majority of the time. What can I say? All right, for the Bulls. Give me Modest Buzelis. I think that they got their breakout star last year in Kobe White. Then they brought in somebody who's trying to break in, right, and not really do much in Josh Giddey. I don't think that he's going to be productive in the ways that they want him to be. And I look around on that roster. DeMar is gone. You can't really trade Zach LaVine. I don't know what you're going to get out of him, and it's not going to be some wild like redemption story for Zach LaVine. We're talking about young players who I think can come in, instantly make an impact. I think Modest Buzelis can be. And I think the entire question about him is if he can shoot, this is an all-star. If he can't, he's going to find some type of role. Right now, I'm going to put a little bit of faith into his shot. I think it's going to come around. And I'm going to put my trust in him. I think that Modest is going to be really, really good.
I knew you were going to say this as soon as you got the Bulls, just because I remember back to that time where we interviewed him and he said he loves Carmelo Anthony and you dapped him up. And I was like, there's never going to be a day where Donovan doesn't ride for him.
No, he's my guy for life. Listen, he can shoot 16% from three next season. And I'm going to be like, just give him time. You know, like, listen. He's
a bucket, I promise.
Exactly. He just needs a little bit of time, a little bit of work in the offseason. It's going to be okay. But yeah, you're right. As soon as he said that, cemented. Like locked in. We're locked in.
I get a
but yeah, that's my pick for the Bulls.
I get a lot of allegations in the comments for liking every white player.
Oh my god.
And I just hate that it's true. Because I love Modest Buzelis. Modest Buzelis is so good. Goodness. First it was Reed Shepard, now Modest. I'm like, damn. Ironically, my favorite players in this class are Modest, Reed, and Zach Edey, the lightest motherfuckers in the top 15.
And he just gassed up Dalton Connect too, so.
Oh my God. 4 for 4. I just sprinkled Isaiah Collier love in there just to keep it balanced.
Affirmative action on NBA fandom is a little bit crazy.
DEI Collier love.
Oh, man.
I just don't know who's going to break out on the Bulls, man. Like, Kobe White had a season. Maybe he has another leap, though. So, I don't...
Another one?
Another one.
I don't know. I think that he's good, and it's definitely a real jump. But I also think that his jump was primarily because of opportunity, and you got a lot of people out the paint. And I don't know if he has a ceiling that can take him to another level, because he was already, like nearing 20 points, like at that range. Do you think that Kobe White can be like a 24 point per game scorer with like 7 or 8 assists? Like I don't know if that's where his scoring ceiling is.
Man, listen, are we gonna talk about Josh Giddey or not?
No, we're not gonna talk. No, he
Josh Giddey's on this team.
No, he actively hurt. I guess we are, but he actively hurt the best team, or one of the best teams in the NBA last season. I don't expect anything good or productive from Josh Giddey going into this next year.
Me neither.
It's hard.
Nor am I rooting for it. But I will be surprised if, like somebody has touched the ball and he's a better fit anywhere besides next to Shea and J-Dub. So I won't be shocked if there's some like fake 18-7 stat line that everyone's like, whoa, all Josh Giddey needed was his own team. Blah, blah, blah. Like that won't be surprising me if we find that part of the season and we all have to deal with it.
That sounds like year 2 Josh Giddey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's still Josh Giddey.
I won't be shocked if we get back to that level of hype.
Yeah. So that's my pick for the Bulls. The second team that we'll run through. Give me the Miami Heat. I'm going with Nikola Jovic. I think it's a very, very easy progression. I think that for the Heat, they need some youth on their roster, and you lose Caleb Barton, you lose somebody who can play, that wing position, even play the 4. I think Nikola Jovic, all he needs is just more minutes. And now that Jimmy is really like in and out the lineup, a lot. And it seems like every single year they're missing, 30 games from their key guys. I think that Jovic is going to have plenty of opportunity to solidify himself as like one of the core members of this team. And I think that he's just next up. They don't really also have a very, very weird timeline. And Jovic is like the young guy on their team. Mm-hmm. So I'm going him.
Kella Ware. Remember the name?
Yeah. I was thinking about him.
I forgot. I actually forgot about Kella. He's going to be great, but I will still go with Jovic though.
He's a player that definitely I went high. Listen, I don't really give a fuck about summer league typically, but occasionally there's a player that I see. I'm like, how can I not like you more? That was him this year. He was incredible in summer league.
Yeah, no. Damo, my friend Damo was really mad the Lakers didn't pick him. Like he really wanted the Lakers to pick Khalil Ware. So
what was the concerns on him out the draft? They said he had like a low motor.
Yeah, they say he doesn't give a fuck. That he's just like a low motor, like just out there running around.
Well, guess what? There's one thing that Pat Riley does. He makes people care. So like Khalil Ware, he's gonna be locked in. If that's the thing that was holding people back, I trust Pat Riley and I trust Spoelstra to put the battery in his back. I've only seen it not work one time that they haven't been able to get somebody to be like high motor like that, and that was Hassan Whiteside. But outside of that, everybody else who goes down there is like, yeah, like, I'll buy into the program. So I'm cool with that pick.
Okay.
What if he's the next Hassan Whiteside, man?
That would be tragic.
That would be crazy.
That would suck. I wouldn't like it. All right, who are your next teams, man?
All right. So I'm going to go with the Dallas Mavericks next. And I feel like this one's pretty easy as well. I am going to go Derek Lively.
Yeah.
I think what we saw in the playoffs last season, he may have just straight up stole that starting center spot from Daniel Gafford. And the main thing that was interesting to me in the playoffs is people bringing up like he has a potential to develop a shot throughout his career. And he did hit that 1-3 in the finals that looked really nice. Now, is this the year he develops that shot? I just don't know. But long story short, I think he's a guy. He's Luka's big moving forward at the end of the day.
That's a very valuable thing to be.
Yeah, which is a very valuable thing to be. The lob threat next to Luka and to develop into one of the best rim protectors in the league, I think that's a very valuable player, specifically when you're next to Luka.
Yeah, there's certain roles in sports that you have like a very high floor by just being associated with a guy. Example like fantasy football, everyone's like, listen, he's Mahomes' receiver. They're going to have value. Whatever, we got to pick him. That's what it's going to be like with big men next to Luka. You're going to get picked. You're going to get 7 dunks a game because Luka just throws it up there and nobody's around. Like, that's a very safe person to bet on. And even outside of that, he's so good, man. He's going to have more and more responsibility, show that passing more and more, continue to develop defensively. I don't even know what a comparison is because I feel like saying DeAndre Jordan is like an easy thing to say for any big that doesn't shoot. But I almost feel like it's like a low ceiling for him.
Yeah,
if that's the comp. If that's the comp, that's the comp. It's so.
But I think he'd be better.
Like, and that's
a better version.
That's fine. That's fine. He doesn't have to be like a. I think like when people say like comps, you don't have to be the exact player, but that is your archetype. You have shades of DeAndre Jordan when you play with Luka Doncic, and especially if all you have to do is, just jump up and catch the ball. That's fine. And like if you put listen, we're gonna have to have conversations about prime DeAndre Jordan. but if you put options like
love the offseason.
You know what I'm saying? But if you put options like that next to good passers, good things are gonna happen. You see it all around the league where these point guards have lob threats and it just makes everything fit. So yeah, if Derek Lively can be DeAndre Jordan like or even better, the Mavs are set up for the next 10 years of having an insane duo. So it's fine.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to call them.
I don't, but I respect it.
And then my next team, this may be the biggest hit or miss out of all my picks, is the Memphis Grizzlies, and I picked Zach Edey.
Let's go!
Them, he's one of us.
I don't know. I feel like going into the draft, a lot of the people I was talking to was pretty low on Zach Edey. But this may be a case of people just overthinking like how 100%. Good he can be. And specifically on the Grizzlies, they are in this phase where they're still a young team in the league, but they really are they really want to compete now. And Zach Edey and his post scoring, I feel like could add a different dimension to their offense that they just haven't had. So depending on how Zach Edey is off rip, which one thing that a lot of people do give him credit for is being, more NBA ready because of the fact that he's played in college for so long. Zach Edey may be a guy that becomes really valuable to the Grizzlies, or he becomes a slow-footed big man that everyone was afraid of, and you know what I'm saying, just doesn't belong on an NBA court because of how slow he is. But
I can't let this scenario be spoken into existence. It's impossible.
Yeah, I like Zach Edey though.
Me too. I love him. I've been telling everybody that will listen on the show, if you're a betting man, I'm really not, but if you are, and you decide to make long-term prop bets, go put your money on Zach Edey for Rookie of the Year. That is a lock. They're going to be a top 4 seed at worst. They're in the upper echelon with the other Western Conference teams. And him as a starting center is going to be so much more impactful as a rookie than anybody else in this class, being a contributing player to a top team that could be in the Western Conference Finals. He has everything that complements what Ja does. He's a great screen setter. He can roll to the rim better than people think. An amazing offensive rebounder that cleans up well. And then his weaknesses is everything that Jaren Jackson can do well. So there's just a perfect complement there that it's just, like you said, textbook overthinking. And people pay so much attention to the downsides that they ignore the ridiculous upsides and top tier skill sets that we only see from like top 3 picks.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm locked in. I'm locked
Any
in.
propaganda you want to get off?
No, you guys have said it all. I'm on the Grizzlies. I've been a Grizzlies, I guess, believer for the last 2 years. I think that Zach Edey is going to give Ja. It's going to be very interesting over the next couple years to see who sets. This is real sicko talk. Who sets better screens between Zach Edey and Steven Adams? Because either way, it's going to be at the top of the league. But Ja's just going to get this runway to run, halfback dive and to just go straight to the rim, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, I'm rocking with y'all's pick. I like Zach Edey.
That's that real hoop talk, man. Who's a better screener, Zach Edey or Steven Adams? Let's talk about it.
They don't understand screen assist. They don't want that. They don't.
But when I mentioned Rudy Gobert's screen assist, you're finna throw up.
Hey, we don't talk about him. Come on now. Let's be reasonable.
Oh my god. All right, man. Next 2 teams I got. Let's see. I got 2 interesting teams and 2 boring teams left. Let's do 101. For the Nuggets, absolutely fucking nobody. So I put Day'Ron Holmes because he would have been a breakout player for them, but he tore his ACL, which sucks because he would have been so important for them as a backup 5 that could play next to Jokic in some minutes. So I think we're going to have to wait a calendar year to see it. But next season, in 2026, Holmes is going to be exactly what the Nuggets need. Because right now, I think the primary backup center is going to be Dario Saric, who is a fine player. I would not be excited if he was the backup center for my team. Doesn't move me at all defensively, and they need all the help they can get, all the spacing they can get. And if you need size and spacing, you draft Holmes. That's exactly what he brings. And it sucks so much that he's hurt, man.
Man, they closed Jokic's window quickly. They shut that thing down.
They tweeted out an official depth chart yesterday, and I was like, fuck, who are some of these guys? It's like their third string point guard. I'm like, who is this?
I don't want to rely on 2K too much for my basketball knowledge, but bro, I play 2K25 with the Nuggets. Ooh, that depth chart is bad, man.
And Julian Strawther, it better be Julian Strawther. He needs to be a guy that really breaks out big. He's such an unknown. He has shown some flashes, but hasn't gotten an opportunity. If it can be him, then they can be saved. But if him and Christian Brown don't do something serious, they're cooked.
You're not high on Peyton Watson, though? I know a lot of Nuggets fans are high on him.
I mean, I would be if he wasn't Jared Vanderbilt. And like, if he wasn't I also love Jared Vanderbilt's defense and his flexibility with that size to guard multiple positions. But if you can't shoot, you can't play in the playoffs. And the Denver Nuggets are the team that made that most apparent by just ignoring him when they played the Lakers and forcing Anthony Davis's life to be hell because there's 2 guys in the paint. It's not as easy to do that against Nikola Jokic because he's the best passer in the world and can shoot, so it's a little bit different. But if you play too much Peyton Watson, you're going to get the same treatment unless he develops that 3-point shot. So yeah, it's kind of like I said with Julian Strawther. If that development comes, then great. He'll be really useful and save their season, but it's a big if.
Yeah. Okay.
On my second team, which one do I want to do next? Let's go with the Kings. I feel like the conventional answer everybody would ever say is Keegan Murray, but I think the addition of DeMar DeRozan makes it very unlikely that Keegan Murray makes any type of jump next year. I think he'll kind of be the same player he was last year, which is very good. He had a great defensive jump last season. 3-point shooting wasn't quite as good, but I think he'll kind of return to the norm we saw the year before that. And just be a very good 3-and-D forward. So I'm not picking him because I expect him to be the same. I'm going to go Devin Carter. Another older rookie. I think if you draft an older rookie in the top 15, I'm typically going to expect a lot to come out of that the rookie year. And he's the type of guy that just fits perfectly what they need. You look at their bench and their guards, they have Keon Ellis, who's a very good player, not necessarily a creator. And Devin Carter is also going to be a defensive-oriented guard like Keon Ellis, like old dude, what's his name? I forget, he's not on the team anymore, Davion Mitchell. But I think he actually has the ability to create his own shot, get to the rim, do a little bit more self-creation. And it can kind of be like a little bit of Malik Monk mixed with a little bit of Davion Mitchell, which is a fucking awesome player.
I'm sorry, I'm just not excited about the Kings this year.
Me neither.
Like, yes,
Me neither.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Did they close their window? You think?
With DeMar?
Was the window ever open?
Well,
Yeah, I don't believe they
I
had a real
remember.
window.
I don't know if y'all remember, like the beam season. The way people were talking about the Kings being the future of the West. I think Draymond even went on his own podcast and said, like, "Yeah, I see a lot of us in them. You know, Sabonis is me, De'Aaron is Curry." And I'm just like, 2 years later, not even that, just a year later.
Listen to that sentence, though. De'Aaron is Curry, any thought that starts with that is like, good Lord, what are we talking about?
But the hype in 20, what was that, 2? With the
22.
Kings? It
Because
was
they
really
had-
like that, man.
It was Make-A-Wish hype up.
They had sucked for 25 years, and this is the first time that they had been like legitimately good since 2000, right? And now, and also the light the beam stuff is also like very fun, and everybody,
Good branding, good PR.
and everybody before the season also was making fun of the Kings whenever they announced that, 'cause they're like, oh, they're never gonna light the beam, and then they come out and they have, which is very funny, but then they come out and they have an actual successful season. I don't think that season could have been looked at any way else other than great story. We'll see if you guys can do it again next year, and they couldn't.
You're right. That excitement was there, and it's for all the reasons Donovan just said. It was new. It was exciting. Sabonis was blossoming in a way we didn't really see in the Pacers because he's playing next to another big. And I think typically when a team breaks out, most people assume that progress can just keep going. It's going to keep being linear. They can keep getting better. They're just getting started. When sometimes they just are who they are. And Sabonis is 26. De'Aaron's 25. They're close to how good they're going to be forever. And unless you have a young guy like a Keegan Murray that can make a huge jump and be like this star you add into the mix in year 2, that person has to hit. And Keegan is a very good player, but he wasn't the star that they kind of hoped he would be. So you just kind of, you have very limited shots at the apple. I mean, not shots at the apple, that's not an expression. Very limited shots to take to try to find those tertiary players when you're a team that's in the middle of the draft. And if you don't hit them and the guys are just good, then it's really hard to imagine getting that ceiling that you once hoped.
Yeah, I think they're a team that's going to be like a perennial playoff team in the West, just because like De'Aaron and Sabonis and the rest of the guys are too talented to not be like ass in the West. But they're maybe like the new TWolves Blazers. They're a Western Conference playoff team, but are they really like challengers to the Thunder, to the Nuggets or like the Mavs? Not really.
Oh, who were we talking about? A lot when we went on Let's Keep It a Buck, I remember we were talking about Sabonis versus some other defensive big, and I was like, I would easily rather have the defensive
y'all
big.
were cooking Sabonis, man.
Yeah, I was. And I was like, you're never going to win with him on your team. Like, every playoffs, we're going to have the same conversation. And the rest of your co-hosts were letting me have it. They were not happy with it. I don't remember who we were talking about. Who was it?
I don't know.
Was it Jaren? Oh, it was Jaren Jackson Jr., I think.
Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember us cooking Sabonis that whole pod. That's what I do remember.
That's all I remember, too. It was someone like Jaren. I was like, if I want to build a team that wants to accomplish something, I'm going to pick Jaren Jackson without thinking twice. And that's how I feel still, because Sabonis is hard to win with.
Listen, it's a very consistent take from you. So like that.
All right, who are your next 2 teams?
Let's go here. I will go with the Charlotte Hornets, and for me, the breakout player is Brandon Miller. I think Brandon Miller had a very, very good rookie season, and I think he's going to break out for 2 reasons. One, just natural progression. I think obviously you've been in the league for 1 year. You're going to kind of figure stuff out, right? We can see if you can be more efficient. 2, also out of necessity. I don't know how many games LaMelo Ball is going to play. I don't know if he's going to be there, and I do think that Brandon Miller is going to be on the court. And so somebody's going to have to take the shot. Somebody's going to have to see a lot of what, a lot of the primary coverages from the defense. I think Brandon Miller is stepping into that role. And if LaMelo, once again, is like, if his ankles break on him again, then I don't know what to say. And we're just going to look at Brandon and be like, all right, I guess you got it. But if LaMelo's healthy, and now we have this duo of LaMelo and Brandon Miller, that is very intriguing to me. And I think that is something that the Hornets can take and build on and try to start to do something better.
Yeah. And throw Mark Williams in there too. If those three guys can stay healthy, two of which are never healthy, they can be legit. They can be towards the play-in race. I listen, last year I said they would be the 9 seed. Terrible fucking take. I expected them to be healthy and be good. They were neither of those things. I still believe it's possible if everything goes well, but the sad part is nothing goes well for this team, so I'm done predicting anything good.
I'm really high on Brandon Miller. I feel like this next upcoming season, this may be the season where we start having conversations about like who is the guy we're actually building around between LaMelo or Brandon Miller. So,
and that won't be crazy because LaMelo's inconsistencies and unreliability health-wise.
Yeah.
If Brandon Miller looks like he's also going to be all-star caliber, like that's not ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous at all. All right, my next team, I will go with the Washington Wizards. I have 2 names here. One of them is Corey Kispert. The other name is just Alex Sarr. I just think that you have to see something massive from Alex Sarr, and you're gonna the same way that you were talking. I forget who you were talking about earlier, but you said he had the tools, but they were locked away in the toolbox.
I was talking about Alex Sarr.
Oh yes, okay, cool, perfect. I need to know if the tools are available to him, like offensively or defensively, to be an elite player on one side of the ball. This is like we always talk about for bad teams. The first thing that you need to do before you start to rebuild or do anything, figure out what direction you're going, and then we can start doing something, right? You don't just want to be wandering in the middle of nowhere and now you're in NBA purgatory. I think that if Alex Sarr comes out and he shows some flashes and we can see like, oh no, this is actually somebody that we don't really have to be worried about, especially because we have other projects on the team like Bilal. If somebody can come in and be a little bit more ready, then we're good. So I'm going Alex Sarr. And then Corey Kispert, I just think, listen, he's just a nice role player and he's cool. Like I don't know. I just like Corey Kispert. I think more people will understand.
Yeah. He's filling the Denny shoes of random Wizards player that every NBA nerd is like, listen, he's better than you think.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, those are
that was SGA for a minute.
And then he proved it.
And then he actually proved it. Yeah, that's
many of them
no Jordan Poole love though.
Oh Lord.
All right, listen. I don't want to be too mean. I don't want to be too mean.
So, listen, we already bigged up Cam Thomas. We don't got to do it twice. We picked one. We ran with it. We only have so many quotas we can hit of bucket getters we can big up.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Who are your last 2 teams, Souls?
My last 2 teams are the New Orleans Pelicans, and for them, I was having trouble choosing between Trey Murphy or Herb Jones.
Yeah,
I'm leaning towards Trey Murphy. Yeah, pick both. Fuck it. But between them, I think I am leaning towards Trey, just because this last season, Herb did get like accolades. Like he was first team all defense, so he did get recognition. Yeah. But Trey, being an athletic wing who can really shoot the 3 ball, and he's only 23 years old. I really think he can be one of the better role players in the league. And depending on how they utilize him, he may be more than a role player. Like the Pelicans, I think they're a really good team. They just need a healthy Zion, man. I swear, just one season of healthy Zion, they can at least make it to the second round. I'm confident.
You know what pisses me off, man? We got it. We had it. We got through 82 games.
I'm saying.
And then as soon as it matters, he looks like God, and then his legs fall off. The quintessential Zion experience. He rises to the highest level you've ever seen him play, and we're like, oh my God, there's not 10 players better than this. And his leg falls off in the same game. I hate life.
He was going crazy that game, man.
But no, I agree. Last year I was saying that if they don't enter this coming season with Trey Murphy as a full-time starter, it'll be the biggest mistake that any team can make this season. And, to do that, they need to offload somebody. They need to get rid of one of their key starters. and they decided to add a new key starter on the perimeter and make him even more buried than he was before. And it's an outrageous decision to add DeJounte Murray and not get rid of one or two other pieces. So I'm still with you. I'm waiting for the Trey Murphy jump. Mm-hmm. I feel like they don't want me to see it. Like they're trying not to give it to me. It's ridiculous.
The Pelicans are the example of less is more. Like they're the main ones who need to listen to it. Like they need to ship a whole bunch of people out because all of us, everybody can see what's happening in front of us. Like, when somebody is really, really good, and Trey Murphy is showing everybody that he can actually hoop. He just needs the opportunity, and they refuse to give him a chance to be the starter. Man. So trade somebody and get Trey Murphy in the starting lineup.
And like, it's simple, but it's not, because these type of moves don't grow on trees. But like, if you can just trade Brandon Ingram for some kind of stretch five, or even if it's not a stretch five, some kind of competent good five, that's it. That's the move you need to make. Like, it would be so perfect. Now, obviously, there's not exactly a stretch five available everywhere you look. But if you can find one, it'll be so good. And even if you can't, Brandon Ingram has to be the one moved. It's so clear.
100%.
And then my last team is going to be the San Antonio Spurs. Now, is this player really going to break out? I'm still kind of iffy on it just because of the rotation and the guards on the team. So I guess it's more of a want than an actual prediction. But Stephon Castle, man, really, really high on Stephon Castle. I hope he gets serious touches this year, but I don't know if he's going to be playing behind Chris Paul. Devin Vassell's on the team as well. But I really do think Stephon Castle moving forward is their point guard of the future. And him and Vic, they have the potential to be something crazy. And I don't even know who they're going to pick in next year's draft if they are in the lottery still. So,
yeah, he's definitely the biggest swing for them right now, which it's kind of annoying because they had 2 top 10 picks and only picked one guy. And it's the guy that is, I don't know, is it safe to say he's one of the bigger works in progress with the jump shot that kind of like, you got to have a lot more patience with him. So it's a bit anticlimactic when we're like, 2 top 10 picks are going to completely change their team. And now it's a guy that's going to be behind Chris Paul. So it's a bit annoying, but I agree. If he hits and he can be this like top tier guard defender, not Drew Holiday or anything, but like below that, whatever that may be, like prime Eric Bledsoe guard defender while having some abilities with the ball in his hands to get to the rim and pass a little bit, that changes the team, right? Because even if you have Vassell, who can be your go-to scoring guard, you need a guard defender next to that since Vassell's not exactly a stopper. Like, he fits everybody so well, doesn't take away from any of their other young prospects. That's the exact type of guy that his rookie season will tell you a lot about the future of this team.
I agree.
Yeah. And I think like playing behind Chris Paul is old. Like, he's not going to be able to dominate the minutes the same way that he has, in years past. Like, you'll probably see a little bit more, I guess, playing with Chris Paul.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. He can defend threes. You could low-key start them all.
Yeah, so there's avenues to where you can get Chris Paul's playmaking and you can get Castle and still allow him to get that experience and those reps on the floor. So I like I said, he's the swing factor for the Spurs. So I don't hate that pick either.
Love it, man. All right, my last 2 teams. First up, who do I have first? The Timberwolves. This is interesting. Last year, I would have said Jaden McDaniels. I had a lot of faith in him taking like a jump as a ball handler and really having some secondary scoring to him. I didn't have a great year in that regard to excite me for that to continue to be a thing he improves on. I think he might just be a good 3-and-D guy, which is fine. He's a great defender, great player. So I'm going to go Rob Dillingham, which is the easy pick, the exciting pick. Again, we got to pick some bucket getters. We got to go on the side of fun. On the side of just get a bucket between the legs, do all the shifty shit he does. It's exactly what they need off the bench. He can play with the starters. He can play as a 6-man. He has the shooting to play on ball, off ball. He can play next to Anthony Edwards, play next to Mike Conley. We'll see what the defense looks like as a rookie because he is a very small man, very, very small, very slender for NBA standards. We'll see if he can stay in front of guys. But if he can, and if he can contribute in the playoffs at all, that gives them a dimension that can really change their outlook, especially for a team that's already so close. They're already within striking distance of making the finals in a year. If you can get a guy that comes in and is immediately one of the best bench scorers in the league, can be your Emmanuel quickly, that can change some shit for you.
Facts. We've seen Ant already have these games where he's 6 of 22, right? He's not shooting well, and they're remembered because they won and he was able to play really good defense. you're still going to need people to score down the stretch. You're still going to need people who can carry the offense if we're in the middle of a game and Ant's missing, 5-6 shots in a row. I think that between Rob and actually no, it really is just Rob. Like I think that he is the one for them. And I think that that them being aggressive in the draft and going out and getting him, I think that was a great move by the Timberwolves. I know that you had concerns earlier about his frame. I don't think I'm too worried about that because I don't think he's going to come out here and score 17 a night or whatever. But he is going to be, I think he will have an instant impact on the team.
Well, there you go. And that's the definition of a breakout player. So I hope you're right. My last player, I got the Blazers. This one was hard because they're kind of like the Rockets when you had Souls, where they just have a lot of guys. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, which one's going to take over? I'm not left with great options. There's Scoot Henderson or Shaedon Sharpe are really the two you can pick as in terms of breakout. And both are talented, highly touted, and extremely flawed. So I'll go with Shaedon Sharpe just because he's older and more likely to break out in this coming season. I still have some Scoot stock, but we know how far away he is. And I think he'll get to the point of being a good starting point guard, but it takes time. Shaedon Sharpe is kind of like Keontae George, where he has the flashes, where George has the shooting flashes that are kind of ruined by the too much on-ball reps that make him take bad shots. Mm-hmm. Shaedon Sharpe has a lot of good flashes driving to the rim. We know he has crazy bounce. He's a dunk contest type guy. He's great on cuts, great running in transition, can get to the rim with the ball in his hands a little bit. But if anybody, most people don't know this because they didn't watch a lot of Blazers ball last year, because why would you? They were one of the worst watches in the entire NBA. They were probably the worst coach team outside the Pistons last year. Absolutely ridiculous offense. Everyone standing around doing nothing. It was horrible, not conducive to any development for any young players. So I'm going to hope and pray that gets better this year, and we can see Shaedon Sharpe have his downhill ability be in a little bit better of a situation where he isn't driving into the rim like a maniac with no spacing, just doing whatever. If we can get that and point that in a more positive direction, I think he has the skill sets that you could look up and see him as like a top 20 shooting guard, top 15 shooting guard in the league.
Yeah, no, we watched a game last year between the Jazz and the Blazers.
Oh, God. What year? What month was it?
Like second month, probably third month.
At least it wasn't late season Jazz.
They were already both considered bad, essentially, at that point. And we were like, man, listen, we love the NBA, but maybe we don't, because the guys were really like, because the guys watching the Jazz and the Blazers play that aren't like, those aren't their teams just because they're on League Pass. You must really love basketball to fully watch that game, man. Shout out to you if that's you.
And listen, I watched those games. It wasn't because I have this love for the game. I'm like, oh, I got to see Shaedon Sharpe. It was because I was obligated to, because I got to talk about these teams. And I did not enjoy it. It was work.
It wasn't enjoyable. We did it, but
it was work.
Really bad hoops.
Entirely work. That shit was homework. It was not great. Chauncey Billups is a terrible coach, man. It doesn't get talked about enough. So there you go. Shaedon Sharpe, I hope you break out. Donovan, who are your last two teams?
So I actually only have one team left, and that's the Indiana Pacers. I'm going with Nembhard. I think what we were able to see from Andrew Nembhard last year, specifically like in the playoffs, I think that's exactly what the Pacers need. You obviously have Tyrese as a building block. You got Pascal, Miles Turner. Whether he's in trade talks or whatever, he's going to be in Indiana. He's just going to be a Pacer. I just don't like, nobody's traded for him. So now you need to fill out really everything else. I think that Nembhard was fantastic, and if he can really break out and be one of the two-way guys and for Indiana, I think that's massive. So I'm going with Nembhard.
And there we go. Shout out Andrew Nembhard. Shout out Pacers Talk. Shout out our list, because that is all 30 teams. We give every single team a breakout player for this year. And I think now it's time for us to have some fun. It is time for TikTok time.
Let's go!
Welcome back to TikTok time. Once again, we are starting with the draft. And as you can see, a special unorthodox type of draft than what we normally do. Because we're recording this on Thursday, September 5th, which is the day the NFL season is beginning. And if you know anything about sports media, I want all of the NFL views I can get because that is just a frenzy of interest in sports, and I am not above pandering. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a draft of NBA players that can play in the NFL. So we have, instead of point guard through shooting guard, we have QB, running back, tight end, wide receiver, and we're going to put NBA players into these positions based on if we think they can do it.
This should be funny because I am a big football casual. So I may have the funniest, that pick doesn't even make sense picks. So,
I hope you do because it'll lead to hilarious comments. So it'll be great. So the draft order is B Souls first, me second, Donovan third. You guys know how this works. We take turns drafting full lineups. So with that being said, let's draft NBA lineups with players who could play in the NFL. B Souls, where are we going first?
All right, cool. For my quarterback, I was thinking about this a lot, man. I'm picking Nikola Jokic as my quarterback. 7-foot quarterback, one of the best passers I've ever seen, can look over everyone. Now, is he going to be running the ball? Absolutely not. But does he need to? No.
That man is a statue. Big Ben to the highest level. Just
try to tackle him. You can't.
Actually, JJ Watt wraps him up.
Nope, late pass. Yeah.
Like, that's a good pick. Listen, the pass accuracy will not be doubted. I'm going to get the best athlete here, I think. Give me Michael Jordan at wide receiver 1. Just that catch radius, those hands. I got to go with the most talent.
I see. Okay, all time. I like the pick. I'm shocked that this guy fell to me. Give me LeBron James. Put LeBron at my tight end. How am I getting LeBron at the 3rd pick? That's crazy.
So here's the thing. I hear you. Keep in mind, I did forget about him. So there's that. I did forget. This is true.
I thought we were doing current. That's why I didn't think of him. Once Isaac said Jordan. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
You still could have picked LeBron. If we were doing current, you still could have picked him.
LeBron's 40.
Listen. All right, Nikhil, can you make that young LeBron? Can you do that? I would take young LeBron. Yes, at my tight end. At my wide receiver, give me Anthony Edwards.
Yawn. Diet version of my pick. Yawn.
Please.
I'm going to pick the best quarterback on the board. Give me Magic Johnson. What are we doing?
Magic Johnson.
Bro. Yawn.
Who is throwing better passes? Who is throwing darts better?
Y'all quarterbacks are too big. I'm going straight for the knees. I'm taking them out.
Magic can move.
You won't last 4 weeks against my defense. We are the 85 Bears. We're putting boundaries on everybody.
Trying to tackle him.
I'm putting boundaries.
You're gonna have Pat Bev and PJ Tucker with their hands in the dirt. I think I'll live.
Straight helmet to knee. That's how we teach it in practice. I promise you, do not play.
Bounty gate.
Don't play against my team. You won't be ready.
All right, Souls, where are we going?
Wide receiver, I'm thinking fast. I'm thinking John Wall as my wide receiver.
That's a good pick.
Wow.
Little Tyreek Hill action.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Picking John Wall.
Listen, nobody's picked the running back.
Wall.
Oh, it's your turn still. For Snake.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then for my running back, I'm still thinking fast. I'm thinking stronger, on the stronger side. Nate Robinson? Is that a good pick? I don't know. Nate Robinson as my running back?
Okay.
Guy with a lot of strength.
I don't hate that.
Athletic.
Okay. Drafted Tariq Cohen. Okay. I'm going to go the other way. When I think running back, I think a big bruiser. I want a Marshawn Lynch. I want a Brandon Jacobs. Give me Charles Barkley at my running back.
Oh, my God.
We're lowering that shoulder. We're running through everybody.
This man put an offensive lineman at his running back position.
We're putting helmet to helmet. We're beating you. Trench warfare is back.
He's
a John Harbaugh football.
Too. He's from the middle of Alabama. Oh yeah, he's running.
Jim Harbaugh football.
That's okay. That's okay. Listen. All right. At my wide receiver, my second wide receiver, Souls gave me a great idea. I got Ant-Man on the outside. I need a slot receiver. I need somebody who's very shifty, very quick. Give me Derrick Rose as my wide receiver.
Okay. Speed demons, little Deshaun Jackson. Okay.
Yep. And then at my running back, listen, being a running back, you just got to run through somebody's face. I need the angriest person I can find, the most try-hard person I can find. Give me Russell Westbrook as my running back. That is Derrick Henry 2.0. Oh my goodness. This man will never quit on the plane.
You know who I should have really picked for running back? It should have been Zion, man. Zion may be number one pick for running back.
I'm glad you said that. Give me Zion at tight end. I know that man can throw a lead block. We're going power at every position.
That man is Trent Williams. You are drafting linemen.
Hey,
Yo,
let me run a Charles Barkley
nasty.
halfback dive with Trent Williams lead blocking for him. That sounds like a touchdown.
Oh my gosh. I hate this. I'm going to get you out of space. I promise.
Your corners are getting stiff armed.
All right, for my tight end, I'm thinking athletic. Well, for all of these guys, really, outside from Jokic. Thinking athletic, thinking a guy that's tall. I'm picking Giannis as my tight end. 6'11" tight end? Come on, bro.
Once again, I'm going for your knees. You're not going to be able to walk the next day. You won't be able to.
You don't get
The
all the
radius
flags in
is
the
too
world.
big. The target is just too big.
We're putting you in a 30 for 30.
I'm
That bad
saying.
controversy.
Listen, you set your own players up. Listen, don't make me get a Cam Chancellor on my defense. Don't make me do it. I'll draft Ron Artest as my strong safety right now. I will do
Nah,
it.
that's crazy.
Rasheed Wallace, middle linebacker.
Oh my gosh.
And then for my wide receiver, because I do know he actually played football. Not this position, though, but he's still pretty fast. I'm picking Allen Iverson as my last wide receiver.
Ooh, okay. Okay, you got speed. Okay. All right, I'm going to go the other way. We're making first team all brolic. Give me Kawhi Leonard at wide receiver. This is Calvin Johnson. The biggest catch radius, the biggest hands, big targets, and they're all going to catch it every time.
Okay. All right. Listen. Also, that makes sense. Jordan and Kawhi on the outside is that's a great duo.
With Magic throwing jump balls, perfect accuracy.
That's a great duo.
That is crazy.
Charles Barkley to run through your chest.
Jokic throwing down every time. You're looking down, man.
See, I have a couple options. I have a couple options. And normally I like my quarterbacks to be very mobile. I'm not going to do that in this sense. Give me a stocky quarterback. Give me Luka Doncic as my QB.
We're going for the knees. What?
He's not. He's the shortest quarterback out of everybody. He's okay.
Sort of,
okay.
barely.
He's protected.
6'7", 6'8".
He might be less mobile than Jokic.
That's it. It's okay.
He's not going to scramble at all.
I don't need that.
Statue.
I don't need that. I have Ant-Man on the outside.
So for audio listeners, my team is Magic Johnson at QB, Charles Barkley at running back, Zion Williamson at tight end. Wide receivers are Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard. This is nasty.
That's
Okay.
gross.
All right. My team, I have Luka Doncic at quarterback, Russell Westbrook at running back, LeBron James, a young LeBron James at tight end, Anthony Edwards at wide receiver 1, and Derrick Rose at wide receiver 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
my
then
team is perfectly balanced.
And then my team, I have Jokic at quarterback. Nate Robinson as the running back.
Imagine that handoff.
Jokic gonna have to get on his knees just to hand it off, bro. Giannis at tight end, John Wall and AI as my 2 wide receivers.
Nice. You have such
Did I do good?
total
I don't know,
opposites.
bro. I don't know
No, you
enough
did good.
football, man.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's good. It's just funny that you have such polar opposites. You're the biggest guys in the world, and then the smallest NBA players you can think of. It's perfectly balanced. I like it. All right, man. So I told you guys we did that because we were shameless view chasers. The second TikTok we're going to do today is equally shameless. Today is the day the NFL season started. Today's also the day 2K25 dropped. So we're going to do a 2K related short.
Let's go. Let's run it up.
I'll do anything for some views. What we're going to do is I'm going to name 2 NBA players. And I want you guys to guess which one has a higher rating in 2K25.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have seen these ratings yet, but obviously they're new. maybe some surprises.
I have not. You tricked me into buying the game last year. I will never, ever give 2K another one of my dollars. It's never happening again.
Tough.
I spent so much money on builds that I didn't know how to use, and I didn't enjoy my gaming experience. I'm not playing it.
That's your problem, man. Listen, that's a problem that I had too. I just accepted, man, I am not going to be Ticino ever, okay? I'm just... my park is not my game mode, so I just bought this game this year to play now online and do my leagues. That's it. I'm not spending any VC.
I feel that. But I do want to be Ticino, and I drugged Donovan and Mo into it. And they were not so good. Mad. They were not good at all.
I was so mad.
No, we got to get on some runs, man.
Bro, we were in the park, straight brown shirts, getting ran off the floor. It was so frustrating.
I took that to the rec. I would look up. I had 18 points on like 11 for 12 shooting. I'm like, oh, I had a good game. We're down by 30. It didn't matter.
That's gross.
But yeah, man, real simple.
Life.
I'm going to name 2 NBA players. You let me know who you think has a higher rating this year. First off, Steph Curry or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Is this the year? Is this the year that they have crowned a new king over Steph Curry? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Give me Steph.
The masses love Curry.
Give me Steph.
I'm going to go SGA, man. I think this is the year.
Sadly, this is the year. Shai is a 96 and Curry is a 95. He's the third highest point guard.
He's officially old. No.
Cooked.
Wash King. Wash King, man.
That actually hurt.
At 95. Wash King at 95.
I know. 36 years old, 95. Oh, no. Fuck. All right, that was an easy one. Obviously, Shai's kind of taking the level above, so that one was a little bit predictable. Next one. Victor Wembanyama or Jimmy Butler?
Now, if I was making the game, listen, I'll put Wemby above Jimmy, but I'm not sure where they rank him at right now. I will take Jimmy.
I think 2K actually is enough of a hype beast to put Victor on over.
They are some hype beasts for sure.
Yeah.
After Jimmy Butler made the finals, they were like fucking 96. Like they don't react to anything.
Yeah, no, 2K is a bunch of hype beasts, so he may even be like a 92 already. I don't know.
Well, Vic is a 91 and Jimmy is an 88. They said these are not the old days. Jimmy, get your old ass down.
They just like me for real. They just like me for real.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I would have did it. I didn't have faith, but they did it. I like that. I like that.
One thing about 2K, they love whatever's hot. And that's not Jimmy Butler at this moment. Not at all. Next one. We have Derek White and Rudy Gobert.
Man, give Rudy his love. Go ahead. He has the higher. I'm gonna say he has the higher overall. Once again, in my game, that wouldn't fly. But I didn't make the game. So it's okay.
I'm not a dev. Sadly,
I'm gonna say
it's not my career path.
I'm gonna say Derek, man. Derek White.
We know what you're saying, Derek.
Oh yeah. But I'm gonna be honest though, as a Celtics fan, he might be getting a little bit overrated. But I like it though. Go keep gassing up Derek White.
Well, Donovan, you are 0 for 3. It is Derek White. He is 1.
Yo, listen, I might buy the game now. I see what 2K is on this year. I see that they have some common sense. I'm rocking with them. Okay, listen, if I go 0 for 4 and I'm happy with it, I'm buying the game. I might do it.
Derek White at 86 is crazy, man. Oh, where does hype beast, man? Jesus Christ. Next duo. We got James Harden and Bradley Beal.
Ooh.
Oh, see, this is mid on mid.
Mid on mid for sure.
83 or 84 overall. Who's who? Oh, my God. Okay.
All right. I'm going to go with reverse hype here. The same way that they were hyping up bad players. I think the Suns went out so sadly that they're going to knock Bradley Beal for that. So give me James Harden for the higher overall.
Yeah. Going on my 2K hype beast logic, James Harden is still more hype than Bradley Beal. So I'm going to go James too.
Donovan is 0 for 4. Bradley Beal is 1 point higher. This is crazy.
What did Bradley Beal do?
They're hating on Harden, on Gobert. Oh, I'm tapping in. This is my kind of game. I love it.
No
Oh my
way,
God.
bro. What did they see in Bradley Beal to give him a higher rating than James Harden? This is
I
crazy.
lied. I'm gonna be a
Stupid as
part.
fuck.
Going back and forth. I'm paying the VC. You're gonna see me hooping in a mascot outfit. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. I like this game.
The
you're
dribbling
gonna
this
look
year
way-
is crazy though. It is nice.
I'm about to be watching tutorials, tips, and tricks. Oh my goodness. Can't wait.
All right, man. Next one. DeAndre Ayton or Austin Reeves?
Please, let's hate on DeAndre Ayton. I'm going with Austin Reeves in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Austin Reeves, man.
Let me know.
DeAndre's probably like a 78, man.
Oh my God. Listen, the whole world hates Ayton, but not 2K. They have him a couple spots higher than Reeves.
What?
83 to 81.
You know what?
Brother.
I don't
Hey,
agree,
they
but
got this one right.
That's one. Listen, it's only one strike. I'm still rocking with them. Okay. That's fine.
So 15
I
and
still haven't
11.
gotten one right.
You have it. You're terrible.
Nah, yeah, that is
Five.
crazy.
I picked the wrong side
You're
every time.
despicable.
I don't be playing
Next
this game.
one. Please, let's get one for Donovan.
I just played a whole season of NCAA last night. I'm a national champion. Respect.
Anthony
me.
Davis or Anthony Edwards?
Now this is hype on hype.
Yeah. Now, is it?
No, it
AD
is hated versus hype.
No, AD has really come up over the last year and a half.
I mean, I guess because he was the most hated motherfucker in the world a year and a half ago. So now he's neutral.
But compared to how Ant has been hyped up,
Yeah, you can't be more glazed.
Nobody's ever had as much glaze in them as Ant does.
Yeah. Next, Michael Jordan, year 3. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
relax.
come on.
I'm gonna go Ant, man.
Just because I want to get one on the board. It's not about 2K anymore. I'm going with Anthony Davis.
You're just playing the numbers what you think will be right?
Yeah.
Damn. That's a decent strategy, but you're wrong again.
What?
It is. Oh, actually, no, you're right. No, you got it wrong. You're right. Anthony Davis is one spot higher.
We did it.
wow.
Let's go.
We got him on the board.
Let's go.
Which is so funny because every year in the playoffs, they just keep pushing people up higher the further they go. So
Just
Ant
to
was a
drop
fucking
him down.
95 for some reason at the end. And so was Kyrie. And they put him back down. But okay, Donovan finally got one.
That's all
Next
I
up.
wanted.
John Morant or Kyrie Irving?
Ooh. I think
You wanna talk
2K
about
is
hype
still
versus hype?
weird. I think 2K is still weirdly high on Kyrie.
They fucking love Kyrie.
They
95 in
love
last year's playoffs, bro.
Kyrie. They love Kyrie. But John Morant is still also Ja, man.
I'm going John Morant. I think.
Yeah.
I think if you get somebody like John Morant's game is so perfectly suited for 2K, there's probably a little boost in there. I'm going John Morant.
You would think John Morant is clearly the better player, but it doesn't matter. 2K's in love with Kyrie. They made him 2 spots higher. 92
way.
to 90.
No way.
They are hilarious.
Kyrie is a 92 and
Why
Ja is a
would
90.
you do this?
2 spots higher? I understand it's just 2 spots, like 2 overalls, but really? In Kyrie's direction?
Listen, man, they love them from Kyrie. It's unbelievable.
Most skilled player of all time. He has to take it.
Yeah, apparently.
I
Next
guess.
one. Last one. Oh, man, that was the last one. Oh, no, wait, one more. LaMelo Ball or Bam Adebayo?
Listen, Bam's the better player. I'll go Bam here.
I'm going LaMelo.
If it's not
Go
Bam, I
LaMelo?
would be shocked.
I'm going LaMelo, man. Hype beast. 2K hype beast heaven, man. LaMelo? Come on, bro.
Listen, man, if they voted Kyrie above Ja, anything's fair game.
Yeah.
But sadly, 2K knows a little bit of ball. They have Bam Adebayo 1 overall higher, which to me
Just
is
one.
way too fucking close. That's way too close. Why is Bam not a 90? 1 overall difference is ridiculous.
That's gross.
Need to get Bam in that white T-shirt, that matching white tee. Get him at that 90.
Unbelievable, man. Next thing we're going to do, tier list. You know, T3 staple. There's one thing about us. We like tier listing some shit. We like ranking some shit. We like go-to formats that make you guys want to watch and get more views. So today what we're going to do, we're going to put Shaqtin' a Fool moments into a tier list. This one should be interesting.
100%. We got some stuff to pull. All right, so listen. If we're gonna start the Shaqtin' a Fool tier list, we have to go with the godfather, the GOAT of Shaqtin' a Fool, JaVale McGee, right?
Which one? There's a lot of JaVale McGee moments.
We're going to talk about when JaVale McGee just ran the other way. Just forgot what side he was playing basketball on and just ran the opposite direction.
This was so good. The best part of this is it's been years and I don't know what he was doing.
What was he thinking?
The zoom out on the video is so perfect because you see them keep trying to get JaVale in the frame and he just keeps going further and further. I love this.
The cameraman's like, what's going on?
Everybody's confused.
I'm trying to think, like, did he think he made the shot? That's why he kept running back? But by the time he gets to the 3-point shot, like, they're already passing the ball to, like, right there. They're already passing to each other.
He put a lot of faith in his hook shot. He was like, oh, I know this is money. I guess he thought that the other team got the rebound. So I'll put this in like a B tier because I guess it's a decent, reasonable mistake.
Just a hustle play?
Yeah, he's just trying really hard, man. First one back.
This man has blinders on. It's like
there's going to be worse on this list.
Just tunnel vision.
A racehorse. He's fucking Secretariat.
All right, next up, we have James Harden trying to block Kawhi Leonard on a 3-point shot.
Oh, this is great.
Why is he doing this? And mind you, listen, we've seen the Lakers do it. We've seen Rondo and LeBron do this, and that's fine. That was the 2020 Lakers. They were top of the conference. The Clippers were sliding. They were in the middle of a terrible stretch. The vibes were not good, and James Harden was like, "Yeah, let me just try this out." Why are you doing this?
And Kawhi is the last guy you want to do this to. Listen, I know he's a fun guy. I know he's secretly funny. I can't imagine he finds this humorous. I bet he hated this.
A wide open shot.
He trying to clip farm. That's what it is. He's just trying to clip farm, man. It works. You are in this clip, James Harden.
Phase Harden.
Look at that. By the end of the clip, another defender got into the picture. Kawhi Leonard went from being wide open to being double teamed. For no reason. I'm putting that in that's like A. Just off of stupidity.
Yeah, he's just a jackass. We can go ahead.
All right, next moment. Another GOAT moment. We're talking about Otto Porter falling asleep on defense, controller dying, not moving, and getting beat on a back cut.
This looks he's glitching. The cut to the coach, be like, what the hell? That is so good. It takes him like 4 seconds to catch up.
I love how the first 3 seconds he's looking back and forth between his man too. And then he just stops. What is he doing?
He has high latency input lag. Oh, what are we giving this? What do you think, Souls?
I'm gonna say this is A, bro. That's hilarious.
Everything you watched it gets funnier. What's
worse is that the play was so that wasn't supposed to happen. There was a clear cut to the basket, and they were just like, no, he's not supposed to be that open. No.
Yeah, they didn't even throw it to him because the offensive player was dumbfounded by the fact he's open.
Wait. He's supposed to follow him and run into the pick. What? What was that?
It was beyond comprehension.
His man didn't even cut to the rim. He just wanted to continue doing the fucking curl route.
He didn't even know he was open.
Yeah, he didn't know he was open. He was like, no, he just kept on running the route. That was crazy.
That's good.
All right, next up, we have Kyle Kuzma and Steph Curry both being insanely goofy on the basketball court. Kyle Kuzma turns the ball over. Then Steph Curry thinks he's getting a wide open dunk, slips, gets the ball back, gets a 3-point shot, misses. Everything about this clip is off.
They're going dumb on dumb, triple dumb.
Dumb cubed.
Ooh. Triple dumble.
That's actually hard. I might have to write that down. That's actually hard. Triple dumble is elite. That's actually
I mean, the sheer number of goofs in this, I feel like it has to be A tier. Anytime you miss a dunk off your own accord, that's gonna be A tier.
This must be the most new gen clip we've seen so far, bro. Imagine missing a layup and your next reaction is on an open fast break, by the way. No one's really back. I'm going to run to the corner and shoot a corner 3. That's crazy, bro.
It's The funny part is, Curry was pissed. He's wanted redemption. He's also clip farming. I nailed this 3. No one cares. And now he just doubled down on ass.
Man, we have to. Hey, listen, relax. we have to. That's S tier. There's multiple people being stupid. There's so many moments in here where it's just like, why are you doing that? How did this happen to us? I'm putting that in S tier.
There you go. I'm not going to argue with you. And what's the next one?
Next one. Repeat offender. James Harden. Getting so upset, slamming the ball on the ground, only to get hit in the face with the basketball.
S tier, strictly because of Josh Hart's reaction. The camera work is perfect. He just, the fuck? He can't believe his eyes.
Look at him trying to play it off like it didn't happen. Like, come on, James. We know your face hurts right now, bro.
Yeah, he walks away like, damn, little cool shit. Was blaming the refs. They're fouling me. The whole time his nose hurts.
That should be my 13th free throw. James, you already have 12. Relax.
Eyes watering. Well, you ever been hit in the face with a basketball? It's just not fun.
Yes,
doing it yourself must be tough.
I have to be so mad. With 20,000 people watching live. Oh my goodness.
Nah, he had to play that off, man.
That's the best part. He was foul baiting too. Like he was trying to do his normal thing.
He was
S tier. S tier. Foul baiting leading to self harm. S tier.
There were some baddies in the second row, man. He couldn't look bad. Man.
That was in Houston.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, listen. We got Beats Holes here, obviously. Massive Celtics fan. Listen, nobody's safe. Not even the defending national champions. Or, yeah, the world champions.
What is that?
Jason Tatum, what are you doing here?
Oh my
Hey, man,
God.
at least it's an all-star game where you're supposed to be on bullshit. At least it wasn't a real game.
Bro, Tatum has the
What are you
worst
doing?
PR in the league, man. I swear.
But also, listen, it's pretty easy to do goofy shit in an all-star game and not look bad. You got to have negative aura to look dumb in an all-star game.
Here we go.
Come on, man.
Negative aura allegations. He is never beating a chat at this point.
Look at this goofball.
At this point, it's not even allegations. It's just facts.
It is,
just
yeah.
facts.
I can't even deny, man. I seen that clip when he was in China this week. Couldn't score on a dude. Like, he missed like 3 open layups at the rim, dude. I'm like, I can't defend this man. I can't, man.
Just not a smooth guy.
Just not a smooth guy. Which you would think he is, man. You know, good looking guy. And all
Big
these
hands
things.
don't make you smooth.
It's like, you think he's smooth? He's pretty. He's cute. Relax.
He's like a baddie with no personality.
So I like him. You don't see that?
Good guy, great
Bro, he's
guy.
wavy.
Have you seen his cuts?
He's top 5 with a cut, man.
We're going 8
You never clarified too. Top 5 what? I'm top 5. Okay. You just think you're cute. You just think you're cute, JT.
Oh my God, A tier. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll go A tier. All right, next up. Once again, nobody is safe. We got Jaylen Brown trying to be Ant-Man, just getting caught in the pivot. This is right here. Just turnover. And there's just no good part of that about that clip.
Bro, there was 6 pivots in that play. The first 5, he thought he was killing it. He thought he was about to have a highlights. 6-1, shit got bad real fast.
He's like, I'm gonna get him. I know for a fact the second pivot, he was like, oh yeah, I got him. I got him right here. I got him right here. And then
So
he
the
jumped
Kobe.
up.
Never mind.
Listen, man, what I've gotten from this video is there's a clip farming epidemic in the NBA. All of these plays happen just because someone was trying to get their clip off, man. Play hoops. Make the layup.
Everyone wants to be on House of Highlights. Nobody wants to stick to the fundamentals.
I'm saying.
Whatever happened to back to the basket?
He stuck to the fundamentals too much. 6 pivots? Relax.
Jump.
Keep the ball moving. Take the shot. It's okay.
By pivot 3, Pat Bev already fell, bro. Like, just, or whoever that is.
You already broke his ankles.
Yeah. Go up.
Look at you. Turnover, dizzy, looking stupid. Get out of here.
Dizzy. Can't see straight. Stupid.
Stumbling down the court.
This is deserved A tier.
I'm gonna say B. I'll say B.
I'll say B.
Okay, we'll go B tier. That's fair.
All right. Last one. Nobody is safe. We got Drew Holiday getting a backcourt
No way,
violation.
y'all just got 3
5
Celtics.
seconds. 5 seconds into the game. No awareness. No awareness.
You know how easy it is to not do that? It's like such an avoidable mishap.
You were
Yeah, the
literally,
Celtics-
the game just started. You're not locked in. You are not here to play.
Bro, they're in Miami. I know they got in the night before. It adds up.
This got to be one of those like 2 p.m. games too. They're, you know what I'm saying? The mind not really in it for real. Like, why are we playing basketball? It's supposed to be a 7 o'clock thing.
Mimosas
man.
on the breath. That's not going
Yeah,
well.
nah, this is crazy. I'm saying F for Celtics hate though. This is crazy. 3 straight Celtics clips. This is
Listen.
insane.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. I told you nobody was safe. Nobody was safe.
Let's go C tier with this one.
Yeah. And that's
That's
it.
hilarious, though.
That's what
And
we
there
got.
we go.
I'm
There's our
gonna stop
Shaq.
right there. I'm gonna stop right there.
There's more though. All right.
Exactly. No, trust me. There were more. Listen, y'all won the chip. Y'all were stupid this year, though. I
Yeah, no,
promise.
there's
you
a
that.
lot with Tatum. There's hey.
We didn't even get to Kristaps Porzingis, big ass.
Yeah,
we were just like gold can of worms there.
I could have ran it up, but you're a guest, so I keep it civil.
We really went easy on you. You should really say thank you.
Exactly.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Because that could have been a whole Celtics clip right there. Y'all weren't even doing it for the views. It's just, all right, B-Souls is here. Let's shit on the
Gotta bully.
Celtics. Okay.
Bullying our guests is my favorite thing to do. So anytime Kenny's on the show, it's always Bulls hate. So it's only right you get Celtics hate.
Right.
All right, man. Next thing we're gonna do. Let's talk about some real basketball discussion. Let's get some discourse going on. I'm gonna name an NBA player, and I want you to tell me who you think is the closest player to their game in NBA history. Could be a current player, could be back in the day, whatever. Just who most resembles the way this player plays.
Okay.
Okay.
Real simple. First name, Kevin Durant.
Ooh.
Hard one. Very unique player.
Honestly, listen, this might be Glaze. It's kind of
Oh my
1-on-1. I don't know. There's never
Oh
been
my
anybody to play like Kevin Durant. He's 7 feet and plays like a guard. It's just, we've never seen this before. I don't know if there's an actual comp for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is like an archetype. But if I were to put a player, probably T-Mac.
Yeah, I was gonna say T-Mac too. He's like a mix of
Yeah.
T-Mac and Dirk. Like it's
Yeah,
like
mix
both
of
combined.
T-Mac and Dirk. Really tall guy with guard-like skills, can shoot the ball, create on his own. I think the closest one would probably be T-Mac.
Yeah, just in terms of height and shooting combination.
Yeah.
Early in his career, people were like, maybe it's Tatum, but then he forgot how to shoot.
Oh my God, here we go, bro.
No, okay. I mean, I'll stop running it up.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Right? You have 2 top 15 players in the league. It's fine. It's okay.
Oh,
Speaking
wow.
of-
Oh, wow.
It's okay not to
Top
have top
15 is
5 players.
And they're
Ways,
both
but-
better than Jalen Brunson, and that's all that matters.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I wish. Please. Please.
We got the real JB, man. Yeah. Finals MVP JB.
Oh my god.
Speaking of next player, Jason Tatum.
Kevin Durant.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I'd probably go Al-Farouq Aminu.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe.
I was
So
thinking.
we're
I was
trolling, we're
thinking.
trolling.
I was thinking Nasir Little.
Nah,
a good
see
one.
a little.
If
Oh, brother.
if we're sticking to 2024, probably Ben Simmons or Kevin Knox.
There's a little
Somewhere
bit of like,
between.
He has a little bit of like Theo Pinson in his game.
I'm glad you said that because I was just thinking of Mario Hazonia.
I do remember the Kuzma comparisons. Y'all remember those?
All those graphics that had their skills.
Kuzma or Tatum? Who's a better rookie? God.
You know, Kuzma's a good comparison. We'll stick with that one. That's probably the closest in the NBA right now.
Kuzma.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Next up, Yao Ming.
Zach Edey.
The biggest guy you can think of. Who's large?
Zach, is it? Honestly, it's because this is like obviously a really big dude, but he could still shoot a little bit.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, what if LaMarcus Aldridge had Zach Edey's body? It'd be something like that. Or Pau Gasol.
Honestly, that might be the comp. If you just like give Pau Gasol a 7'4" frame, might be Yao Ming.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not bad. You've seen the clip of Yao Ming running up and down the court doing the behind the back move. He had one of those in his career. I think Pau Gasol had about 2 of those in his career as well.
There you go.
Very similar highlight tapes. I can get with that.
They both love some mid-range jumpers. There you go.
It's not bad.
All right, next one. Jalen Brunson. It's kind of hard to compare to. There's not a lot of like guards like him that are so skilled but so unathletic. It's tough.
But he's strong too.
Yeah. Just like not fast, which is very rare from a star guard. But quick. Not fast, but
exactly.
quick. That's dumb.
Exactly. You see, you understand it. You understand it. Get to your spot, right? Right. Lull the defense and go. It's about
move
explosion.
them off the spot.
It's about explosion. It's about the pivot being. Oh my goodness, y'all don't understand the greatness of Jalen Brunson's game. 15 feet and below. A lot of people can do it. Really, like on the perimeter, you have a lot of space. When you're in condensed spaces and you're able to get whatever shot you want, everybody knows, right? Isaac was talking all this mess about how Brunson was going to get shut down in the playoffs, and I don't think his game is going to translate that well. You don't think getting buckets translates? That's what Jalen Brunson does. That's what he does. And yeah, man, I don't know. He really might be one of one. He really is special.
I'm thinking Jordan Farmar.
I'm not sure.
I'm thinking Celtics Isaiah Thomas. Hold on. Let me cook.
Small on small. Let's get it.
Small point guard, high volume, lefty. Come on. Yeah. Isaiah Thomas was pretty strong for his size too. Mm-hmm. Revitalize a rebuilding franchise.
Damn, he's supersized Isaiah Thomas.
It's not bad.
I actually don't hate that.
Supersized at 6 feet is crazy.
I don't hate that.
Supersized. All right, man. Next one. Ben Simmons.
Ooh.
Prime Ben Simmons, not 2024.
Okay.
Magic Johnson? Is that crazy? Do I go there?
I mean, no.
This is kind of like supercharged Lamar Odom.
Yeah, I guess. So like a little bit of Draymond in there.
A fast
he
Kyle
was like,
Anderson. There you go.
But he was like a really elite perimeter defender that could guard point guards, which is really rare for that height. So I don't know who else matches that at all.
I mean, that's where the Draymond comes in, where you get the really good defense on top of Lamar Odom. You still get the passing from both of them. Very versatile.
All right, what about 2024 Ben Simmons?
Me. I mean, we're playing the same amount of games. It doesn't matter.
Oh God.
There is no comparison. One of a kind.
Facts. Speaking of one of a kind, next one. Victor Wembanyama.
Ooh.
I mean, it's,
okay.
It's very clear. Like if you took all the talents and you did the Space Jam thing and you put them all in a ball and you gave it to Bol, that would be Victor Wembanyama.
Well, see, the thing is, if you do that, well, all you gotta do is get Victor Wembanyama and just like put him in a machine and just like squish him a little bit, and you get Chet Holmgren. It's kind of crazy they came in the league together because they're kind of like the closest we've ever seen to each other.
Mini Vic is a 7'1" dude. Crazy.
Just bash him in the head with a Looney Tunes hammer, and you get Chet Holmgren.
I've heard people say Ralph Sampson, but I haven't watched enough Ralph Sampson tape. So.
I don't know a fucking thing about Ralph Sampson other than he was very tall and played for the Rockets.
Yeah, that's
my elders have told me the same thing. They've said Ralph Sampson is the comparison.
It must be him then. I don't know.
So I mean, I
Don't
guess
know, bro.
listen. Shout out Ralph Sampson. You get the salute from us. You know what it is.
I won't pretend to be up on Ralph Sampson knowledge. I shall not.
I shan't
Next up.
not.
Kawhi Leonard.
That's Michael Jordan.
Instantly.
This is my people talk about. They talk about Anthony Edwards being Michael Jordan. Kawhi, like peak Kawhi Leonard, is crazy. The moves,
Any
the way
player
that the way that they
I know-
operate.
I'm noticing a pattern. Any player that gets Michael Jordan comparisons is just overly glazed. 2019 Kawhi might be the most praised player of all time. and
Not
now it's
even 2019. Not even 2019. Listen, we don't talk about it a lot because he got hurt. 2021 Kawhi,
Oh, yeah.
where he got hurt against the Mavericks. That version of Kawhi was different, and that version is Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Kawhi. Paul George? Not peak Paul George, maybe? I don't know.
We got two of them on the same team. Damn. They didn't win shit.
Hey, yeah, two are the same. Need something to compliment each other, man.
All right, next up. Draymond Green.
Dennis
I mean, the
Rodman with
easy-
some bop in it.
Some bop. It's great.
Ron Artest with good PR.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is Dennis Rodman without Bob? You know, like I'm just like saying Draymond Green is Dennis Rodman with Bob implies that Dennis Rodman didn't have Bob. And I assure you, he feels like one of the most boppable players in the
Yo,
in
what is
NBA
this
history.
conversation?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of
That gotta be Ayo. I'm sorry, man. That gotta be Ayo. I haven't said it at all this podcast. I said it on mine, man, but that has to be
I just
Ayo, bro.
Listen. I'm just trying to follow the logic. I just feel like he has a lot
Turn
of
your
bop.
fucking mic off.
I just think that he has a lot of bop. That's all I'm saying.
You can stand on that hill, man. I'm not about to argue the bop ability of a player. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Bro.
I'm just asking. I'm going off of the terms that you used, right? This is your lexicon.
okay.
Your
So it's me.
dictionary.
My bad, job. My bad.
What
It's
is
me.
Bob?
What is bop?
What is that?
What does that mean to you?
Okay, well, that's the end of that segment. Last thing we're going to do.
We didn't even say a player for Draymond, really. Oh my god, bro. That's funny.
Last thing we're going to do. I'm going to say an NBA player's name, and you're going to tell me the best and worst thing about them. It can be about their games, how they've impacted the league, their perceptions, how we talk about them, whatever you want. The best and worst thing that comes to mind when you hear this player's name.
Okay.
So, first off, LeBron James.
I guess.
Tough one.
What is the worst thing about LeBron?
Skip Bayless. Giving relevancy to Skip Bayless. Giving him ammo for all these years.
I don't know if Skip Bayless kind of took that. I don't know if LeBron gave that to
Yeah,
him.
you're right. He begged for it. LeBron didn't give him nothing.
He outlasted Skip Bayless, man. That's crazy.
Thank God.
Isn't that crazy that an athlete outlasted somebody who all he has to do is talk? Like you can talk till you die, and LeBron is still the longevity is still out here.
Talk till you die.
Skip Bayless be out here arguing with clouds about LeBron James. Man. That old man be tripping. Like
What's crazy is after he got fired, he's still doing it. So now he's just doing it for free? Come on, bro. Paying for free is crazy.
He's
When
in
he
the
used to
park.
get paid
Just,
millions,
LeBron sucks.
they couldn't defeat me in these shoes. Okay, Skip, we get it. You got nice Jordans. Oh my God.
I know his wife is sick of him. She's just like, yo, get a job. Like, please stop talking to me about this.
Put the fries in the bag, Skip. Please. Please, Skip.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god! All right, so I guess the best thing about LeBron is longevity. That's probably the best thing is that he's able to outlast everybody.
There
That's
we go.
crazy.
Is the worst, is it glazed for me to say there's nothing bad about LeBron? Not that I'm
I mean,
thinking
yes.
Fair.
What is that?
Wipe your fucking
He got
mouth.
locked up.
Okay,
He got
the
locked up by
legitimate
JJ
allegations. Legitimate allegations. Depending on who you talk to, that might be true, but
The what? allegation?
the legit allegations, how he like controls every team he goes to, they just, you know what I'm saying? Just bend over.
He got
for
locked
LeBron.
up by JJ Barea.
Here we go. All right.
Oh
next
my God!
player.
Why did I think of 2011? Oh my God, that's the worst thing.
2011 is right there.
Yeah, my bad. How about bending over? My bad, y'all.
What? Nobody was talking about bending over.
No. Never mind, man. Never mind. I brought it up. My bad, y'all. My
We're at
bad.
the deep end of the pod. We're in the deep end. It's going crazy. If you stayed here for this time, top the comments. LeBron's never mind.
Hey, this is how y'all know I'm getting comfortable now, chat, by the way.
Bending over for LeBron.
When the conversations get like this is really my bag.
Nobody said that.
Next up, Giannis.
Thinking it.
I just pissed off Donovan. My bad.
Just be thinking this. Just be thinking this. Giannis.
Lack of a bag, definitely the worst thing about him.
For sure.
I think the dad joke's the worst thing about him.
Dad jokes are
We
pretty
get it. Congrats on the sex. I get it.
I'm fine with that. If you score 50 in the closeout game to win the finals, you can tell every corny joke you want. But I'm gonna need you to have a headsy tween. That is required. So yeah, no bag is probably the worst. What's the best?
The best thing about him is just try the smoothie. God bless the USA.
That 50-point game was crazy.
Let me not say that. Let me not say that.
Iconic tweet.
All right, fine. He likes smoothies. Good job.
Next up, Anthony Edwards.
Aura. It's the best thing about him.
All right, so that's the worst thing about it. The fact that anytime we talk about Anthony Edwards, aura is the first thing that comes to mind. That's the worst. It's been
That's
played
aura,
out.
man.
He's poisoned the
Who got
brain of
more
our
aura,
youth.
Anthony Edwards or Duke Dennis? Come on, bro. It's the real conversations we're having.
Oh,
Y'all won't answer it. They won't answer it, man. It's a hard question. It's a hard question.
It's a hard question.
I can't fucking, man, you are dumb as hell.
I can't fucking breathe. All right, so the best thing about him is he
fact
killed
that
John
said
Collins.
These are real conversations.
The streets are talking.
Oh my goodness.
So the best thing about him is he killed John Collins on the court. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. He gave us the send the video meme.
Oh, he
That was very,
said the
that
video's
was
the
very
best thing
funny.
about him.
That was very funny.
Oh my God, I gotta compose myself. Next up, Joel Embiid.
Oh. Why does my mind immediately think of the worst thing? Yeah, foul baiting. Joel Embiid's
Everybody
foul
hates this man.
baiting. Oh my God, I'm done. I'm done with it.
The worst thing he did is rob us of 4 straight Nikola Jokic MVPs. What could have
It's
been?
the foul baiting. The foul baiting. It's out of
Foul
hand.
baiting's bad, man.
It's out of hand. That's definitely the worst thing.
I know what's the best thing. Say something good about him.
Listen, he do be scoring though. I'm not gonna lie. He do be scoring.
Yo, Donovan loves buckets, man. He do be scoring though. Cook.
The Mac can hit a midi. I can tell you that.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
You talking about some of the best players of all time. You do be scoring though, man. Come on, bro.
That's the analysis.
Now that's hate. That's actually hate, Chuck. That's hate. Oh my god, bro.
He scored 8-pointer too.
Best thing about him, loyalty, man. Staying loyal to Philly all of these years. I gotta commend him for it because they had some rough years,
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Oh god.
All right, LaMelo Ball.
His basketball shoes are actually really good. He does.
Okay.
He does. Listen. I owned a pair. They actually were good. They didn't suit my game, but they were comfortable. My feet didn't hurt,
Okay.
so I do appreciate that.
His shoes.
Shout out footwear.
Worst thing about him.
His ankles.
Worst thing
Gotta be
Yeah,
like
we
his
can
shot
stick to the
selection,
lower
man.
body. The worst thing about him was his motherfucking ankles, man.
Yeah.
His ankles are brittle.
No, the
Yeah.
worst thing about him is how he types with all those goddamn emojis. You are not Lil Uzi Vert. Grow the fuck up.
He did used to do that. Or still does.
He knew it.
Never mind.
He's new age Cam Newton. All the stars in Charlotte have their own font. This is just, I don't know why, but this is what they do.
They speak
This
their
is
own
how
fucking
they
language.
operate.
Okay. Trae Young.
See, I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
This is a pro Trae Young podcast. Watch your mouth.
I know.
The shiver emote, the shiver celebration, that shit is cool. I like
That's
that.
tough. That's a good contribution
yeah,
to the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best thing he's ever done is tell New Yorkers to shut the fuck up. Sometimes they got to hear it.
I was gonna say honestly, stepping into the villain role and embracing it the way that he did, kind of cool. Kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. And the worst part of him is he is doomed to be compared to Luka Doncic forever. He has a misfortune of being traded for him, so he's gonna have those comparisons until the day he dies.
Yeah. And then all these point guards just turned up last year, so now like Trae Young don't even get the love that he should have. Crazy.
Tough. Wow. Next player, Kyrie Irving.
Oh my goodness, it's the same thing with Anthony Edwards. The worst thing
Aura.
about him.
Oh my.
You think about that a lot. Like, do you? I'm
Kyrie
saying,
don't got aura now? Come on,
I'm
bro.
saying, nah, I mean, I'm just saying that, like, I think you actually have like internal debates about like you have your like personal aura rankings and like. So
I did do that on the stream, like unironically.
Oh
like,
my!
a March Madness
know.
of aura. Like it was kind of crazy.
Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't done that. That's so good. That's some shit Mo would make us do.
We will tell you to your face. We're gonna steal that. Like we're gonna take that.
Hey,
We
go
will
ahead,
rob
man.
you of
Go
that
ahead.
idea.
One thing I'm gonna do is copy a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to see how high Duke Dennis goes up there. Or unless y'all doing NBA only, then never mind.
Can we cut the episode right now?
And that's the end of the episode. If you're still here, comment Duke Dennis has aura. And we'll see y'all next week.